Not quite the debut we were hoping for the Mariners after the trade deadline. The M's fell to the Tigers 8-0. They try again tonight at 6:40. Wu is on the mound. Hard Knocks premiered last night and has gotten some great reaction. The Northwest definitely represented. And the Storm take on the Liberty today at 4 p.m.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
Another kind of beautiful morning here at VMAC. I know it's a little smoky out there. I hope everyone on the east side of the state is doing well. But I'm here with Curtis Rogers filling in for Stacy Ross. And it's a beautiful day. Nice to have you. Dad podcast today.
That's right. We're back at it here at training camp. I'm super excited. This is my first time being out here because normally I'm in studio.
I know. Look, you get some fresh air.
I am. I got
touch grass.
I could. I am like 30 feet away from grass that I could go touch. It feels good to be out here, Bump. And also, like, after the debut episode last night of Hard Knocks, like, it's something that I never thought would happen with the Seahawks is that they would get on Hard Knocks. I was always kind of like, that's for everybody else. But for last night, the debut episode, like, it's funny being out here after watching that, and it's like, oh, they're just going to grab more footage today. They're going to grab more footage for that. Like, it's weird now kind of seeing what we saw last night and being here the day after, kind of like, oh, there's a lot more going on than what we just see in front of our eyes here.
Yeah, it's cool because there are some things that I saw on Hard Knocks that I kind of remember seeing, you know what I mean? Because me and Stacey have been in here, for a week and a half now, and then there are some things I just wasn't aware of. Like, you know, there's the situation with Derek Hall. I had no idea that had gone down. Speaking of that situation, let's go to cut number 6. Mike McDonald with AD. They're talking about this situation between Brady Russell and Derek Hall. They had a little fight.
I'm disappointed in D. Hall. Like, why would you come in and go behind the guys?
I'm just telling you, what the thing Brady said to him, bro. Like,
what did he say?
He said you changed because your money. D. Hall hasn't changed, and like that, when you like get into talking, I'm good with that. But
that's kind of
those personal things, like they're the things that chip away at.
I didn't know he said that. When did he say that?
He said it on the sideline. I was heard him. I'm kind of trying to just keep it calm.
Yeah. Hey Brady, I'm good with us like trash talking, but like I think you kind of crossed the line. Like,
is there?
I know emotions are high, but like it's kind of a chotch thing to tell.
What you got, Mac?
Yes, sir.
You agree?
Yeah.
You know, he's your teammate. Like, should be happy for him. Now, if he does a cheap shot, like tell him he's out of line for a cheap shot.
I guess that's kind of what I felt like I was doing.
You know?
Because of his slam on Cable do. But
that's fair, you know. But like,
I agree.
All right.
So a couple things happened. D. Hall kind of ran up behind Russell, choked him, threw him down to the ground. Kind of a cheap shot. It is a cheap shot. If you got beef with somebody, you're going to go ahead. But things happen in football camp all the time. And then Brady making the comment that he changed because of his money. If I sign a deal that Derek Hall got, I might change a little bit. But those are the things that we get. And then also, we were talking off air, you like the way that kind of Mike McDonald handled that situation.
Yes, I did. And I think I was kind of watching that scene as a parent in that moment. And what way will you get through to your kids better? Yelling and screaming at them, or, hey, let's do it differently next time. You use a calm voice to get through to them. And I thought the way Mike McDonald handled that, where he basically took Brady Russell aside and was like, hey, man, what you said, like, do you think that was a productive way to say it? Kind of putting the responsibility on him to kind of be like, you know what, Coach, you're right. I thought the way that was handled was really, really cool. And look, cooler heads prevailed. Obviously, you know, tempers are going to flare out here because it gets hot. You know, guys are hitting each other. That was also the first day of full pads, if I'm not mistaken, too. So, you know, when those pads are clacking, like, you know, tempers are going to flare. But I thought that was a really cool way for Mike McDonald to just kind of like, you know, ease the situation, where I think so often we look at football coaches in those moments and they're getting, you know, their faces bright red. You see the veins in their forehead, in their neck, and, you know, just like, hey, grabbing people by face masks. Like, what are you doing? But no, that wasn't it at all.
Yeah. And the thing, too, is you can talk trash. But as soon as you get personal, then it's different. You talk trash to your boys all the time, but all right, there's something you don't touch. Wife, kids, family. You stay away from certain stuff. And no, you're right. This is part of training camp. Also, something I really enjoyed is just the way that Mike McDonald talks to the team and motivates them, right? He gives them examples of staying connected here. Cut number 5, he talks about the 1990s Chicago Bulls.
MJ was MJ. Right? There's another level to where he was able to take his game because he bought into this idea of team basketball. So why do I tell you that story? Like, in the NFL, guys, I really believe this, that the secret sauce of the NFL is connection. What if everybody was on the same page, going in the same direction, playing off one another, building each other up, not caring who gets the credit, and just going? And where could that take us? What if we could get the whole building involved and just creating this vision of who we want to become all the time? This is how we know when we go into games that we have the competitive advantage because we have this in our corner. All right, and this is the time of year to make it come to life.
All about staying connected. And this is when you do it, man. This is when, it starts during OTAs, right, when the rookies come in and you're starting to form your team. But the dog days, man, training camp, you're here all day for weeks at a time. It's important that Mike sets the tone and gets that message out there.
Yeah, and what better way to get through to your players than by, pointing out one of the greatest athletes of all time, Michael Jordan, his ability to continue to work at it even after winning his first championship, not being satisfied, winning 5 more after he had won his first ring. And obviously that's the goal here, is to not be satisfied with just one. And so I think this group has a really good mindset heading into this season where, they talk about running it forward instead of running it back. And you hear the coaching staff in their meetings on Hard Knocks last night being like, what can we do to make this even more than what it is? And you heard Mike McDonald say, like, we've got the shiny trophy. Like, how can we get another one? Like, how can we make this better than what it's been already, which, like, I don't know if anybody has any complaints about the last 2 seasons here under Mike McDonald. But, yeah, I think, just watching kind of how they approach this, it's a lot different than previous Hard Knocks because you watch those from almost like the frame of mind of, like, watching a car crash with, like, the Cleveland Browns that have been on it and, like, the Jets have been on it and all these bad teams have been on it, and you're kind of like, I remember Hugh Jackson, the former Browns head coach, getting into a lot of, spats with his offensive coordinator, Todd Haley, when the Browns were on it. Like, you don't see that at all here. And I think it goes to show just how well things are ran here in Renton, because a winning organization, everything is taken care of. Everything is meticulously looked at. And I think the Seahawks just kind of showed to the world last night, like, yeah, this is a building that moves with great efficiency, and I think I'm expecting another big season just based off of what we saw last night.
Yeah, and big ups to the drone shots, the shots of the bald eagle. The Northwest was looking Angels. Pretty. The Blue Angels, man, I was watching like I live here? This is where I live. This is where I get to work every day. No, it was beautiful, man. I think they did a great job with the cinema part of that whole deal. And there's another issue, not an issue, but something that's been kind of lingering, is just the Devon Witherspoon situation, right? When is this contract going to get done? He's still out here practicing, so obviously they're on good terms. Here's cut number 1, John Schneider on Devon Witherspoon's contract report.
Spoon got wigged out, not last night, the previous night, because Ian Rappaport reported that we were making him the highest paid guy, and he's not accepting it, da-da-da-da. So I called Ian and was like, hey, man, you need to call the agent and tell them that's not coming from us, Mo talked to Spoon, everything's fine. He's like, he gets it, he's in a good spot now.
Yeah, so pretty much John is saying Ian Rappaport put some stuff out there that wasn't true. Let's get communication, right? Another example of how well this organization is ran. Let's communicate with the agent. Let Spoon know that's not coming from us. You communicate with Mo Kelly, who's like the liaison, I guess, if you want to call him, between the coaches and the players. He's right downstairs. He goes over, talks to Spoon. Spoon's in a good place. Another example of just communication being on point.
Yeah, and I think they understand the delicate nature of these contract docs because, as John Schneider points out, in cut number 2. This is not the first time they have had to walk down this trail in terms of a tough negotiation.
We've had negotiations over the last 17 years that, haven't been real fun, but every individual's different. It's the person, right? So Spoon's just like this great, like, high energy, vibrant guy. We all have the same goal in mind, and we'd love to get that done because Spoon's a great player.
I mean, you've been around the block several times. He knows how to approach this whole thing. You think they get it done here pretty soon?
I think so. I would hope so, because Spoon is obviously way too important to what the Seahawks do. Now, if they don't get it done, he still has the fifth-year option to play on. But I think just based off of how the cornerback market has moved this offseason, who was it that just signed? Denzel Ward, I think, just signed for, 31.1?
Yep.
Just surpassing Trent McDuffie in L.A. You've got those deals figured out. You're now kind of waiting on Witherspoon and Christian Gonzalez, who are represented by the same agency. Which one is going to happen first? I know Brady Henderson had mentioned with me last week that he thought, there was potential that Gonzalez gets done before Witherspoon. I don't necessarily know if that's still the case, now that we're about 8 or 9 days removed from that. But love this leaf blower right by the set.
He's doing his job.
He is. We're just doing our job. He's doing his. I can't get mad at him. But, I think that situation is obviously the one that people are most concerned with for good reason, I think. You want to get your stars locked up long term, and that's the last one really of the class of 2022, the draft class of 2022 that can get a new deal, or a class of 23.
23, yeah.
Get him signed, and we actually heard from Witherspoon for the first time really this offseason about his contract talks in cut number 3. Spoon said, look, I offer a rare skill set that deserves to get paid.
Outside of quarterback, for real, we got the hardest position on the field, man. It's hard to guard these guys, especially when you can't touch them past 5 yards. I mean, like, these guys they real talented, man. I mean, it's just a hard job to play. So when you got a guy who could really do, like, shut down a receiver, or just, like, can be versatile like I am, like, you don't come across those guys often, for real. So when you got a premier corner like that, it's just you pay him. Like, please pay him. That's all we saying. So
I've bought into that. I started hearing that the cornerback spot was the second hardest position in football, and naturally as a receiver, I'm like, what you talking about? But then I started really thinking about it. Yeah, they're moving backwards.
Right.
They can't touch the receivers after 5 yards. We're manipulating them with our movement and our breaks and all that stuff. You make one mistake, everybody's on your head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say I've bought into it that the cornerback position is the second hardest position in football. So, yeah, you have a guy like Spoon, you got to pay that guy. But it sounds like he's focused, right? He says he's not trying to let the contract talks impact his play here on cut number 4.
It's not really something that's on my mind right now. My mind is to go win football games, bro. We're trying to be the best team that we could be for this year. And stuff like that just get in the way of doing that. Like, when you just put it to the side and let God handle that situation, it's easy to just focus on the task at hand, which is getting better every day, training camp, battling these guys every day, competing every day. You can just focus on playing football.
Yeah, that's rare, man. If I were Spoon, I'm not Spoon. I'm not one of the greatest corners in the game right now. Curtis, I would be on the sideline with a bucket hat on and just waiting.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to get hurt. You saw what happened to Kobe Bryant the other day, right? Hope he's okay. 8 to 10 weeks he's going to be out. Yeah. But his approach is unique and really kind of refreshing.
It is, and you can tell just kind of how much he loves playing football. The fact that he is not going to let these contract talks keep him off the field and keep him away from his team, where I think, we've seen other situations here in Seattle where guys have wanted to get paid and have kind of had the hold in, as it were. I think back to Bobby Wagner, where he turned his sweatshirt inside out, and people were kind of like, oh, is he trying to send a message to the team based off of how his negotiations are going? We haven't seen any of that with Devon Witherspoon. So I think that is a really positive thing to come from this whole situation, even though it does kind of feel like, they're waiting on, something to budge, whether it be the Seahawks budge on their number or Devon Witherspoon's camp budges on their number. But all in all, like based off of what we heard from John Schneider last night and Devon Witherspoon, it sounds like both sides really, really want to get a deal done and get this thing taken care of.
We got one more sound here before we get to headline rewrites. Has nothing to do with anything we're saying. This is just the effects of JSN, man. Let's play cut number 7. I bet you even JSN was like, chill, dog.
Yeah, like, bro, like, I'll get to you, man.
But no, I mean, when you are considered one of the best, if not the best receiver in the game, you're coming off of 1,700 yards, you're looking good out here, 11 mixing guys up. That kid looks up to him. But has anyone ever made you freak out like that?
No.
No.
I can't remember ever, even as a kid, just losing my absolute mind. It reminded me of those old videos you see of, like, the Beatles coming to America.
Right.
And like girls in the audience are just fainting, just like that's what that reminded me of. But it also does speak to the star power of a lot of these guys, and also how quickly a lot of these guys have reached that level of stardom. Because prior to camp last year with JSN, he was coming off a really good season, one of the best ever in franchise history after the 2024 season. But it paled in comparison to what he did last year in 2025, where not only did he become a household name here in Seattle, but really a household name across the NFL. He is a 99 rated player on Madden. He wins Offensive Player of the Year. He also wins Defensive Player of the Year, too, as they made the mistake on his trophy. But, yeah, I mean, to see him go from where he was prior to last season to where he is now, kids basically fainting at the sight of him. It's pretty impressive.
99 in Madden, overrated. I was a 68. How about your boy?
Wow.
68 overall, baby. Let's go. All right, let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, rewrite.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
All right. The Mariners were shut out 8-0 in the debuts of Taylor Ward and Sir Anthony Dominguez. What's the real headline?
Real headline, I can't think of a more fitting welcome. I mean, that's just kind of how it is. Man, that was a brutal watch last night.
Bruh.
Melton is good. Like,
Yeah.
I'll give him that. Like,
He's balling.
He's a really good pitcher. But, man, the Mariners did not stand a chance against him last night. I think they managed, just 4 hits? And then Dominguez coming in the 9th just to get some work in, gives up the 2 home runs, gives up 4 runs. I was thinking back, like, the last time he pitched in Seattle, it didn't go so well for him either. He gives up the grand slam to Geno Suarez in Game 5 of the ALCS. Hopefully that's not like a hiccup he's got to get past. But, yeah, not a great night for debuts with the Mariners, but still have a shot to win the series. You just got to win the last 2 games of it. But it feels like this team, whenever there is a moment to meet this year, they just have not done it.
No.
Like the first game out of the All-Star break, where it's like, all right, we're healthy. We're Cal's got a few days off to get his mind right. The rotation is back in order. I think they got shut out by the Giants, if I'm not mistaken, 7-0 in that game. Last night it was 8-0. Like, they're running out of time. Like, these games are growing in importance. You cannot have performances like that.
You know what that reminded me of? Remember the movie Little Giants?
Yeah.
When they trick Bo to think he's on the right team, but he's playing with the Giants and the Cowboys, and he turns around and he goes, "You call this a team?" Like, that's what that reminded me of. They're like, hold on, am I in the right place? Is this really what's happening here? No, but hopefully they bounce back. For me, that was probably one of the more deflating losses just because of the anticipation that you got new pieces, and let's see what they do with it. Unfortunate. Let's see if they get it done tonight. What's next?
Headline rewrites.
The Mariners released catcher Mitch Garver and outfielder Rob Refsnyder on Tuesday. What's the real headline?
Real headline, are we sure we want the Mariners to be more active in free agency? Because it feels like, yes, there is the desire to want them to go out and sign guys from outside the organization every winter, but rarely does it work out for them. Now, maybe it is the quality of free agent that they're going after, because these 2 guys both signed via free agency. Garver actually lasted 3 years here. and never, ever lived up to the bat that he was prior to signing in Seattle. Refsnyder, I was stunned that he is not where he was a year ago. Like, he was ascending. His numbers were getting better and better every year prior to signing in Seattle, but yet they're now having to flush $6 million down the toilet bump. Like, where would the Mariners be if Refsnyder had panned out to just playing maybe like league average, hitting, 250 with, decent on base? Like, they might not have even gone out and needed to get Taylor Ward.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Like, if Refsnyder did what he was supposed to do, Ward wouldn't be here. You probably have another bullpen arm at the trade deadline. Who knows? But, yeah, it was disappointing for Refsnyder, man. You saw what he did in Boston. You thought he was going to bring that over here. But it'd be like that, man. We're looking at Taylor Ward, and we're thankful that he's here. Last year, he hit 36, 37 bombs. This year, he's got 7. He's a different player this year. So, things change, people change. But this was necessary, a very necessary move.
Headline rewrites.
The Dodgers lost to the Cubs, and Tarek, he's in L.A. now. He's Tarek. And Tarek Skubal's L.A. debut, what's the real headline?
Real headline, what a bum.
What a bum.
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, are you even good anymore? He actually did pitch pretty well. 6 innings, two runs, but the Dodgers lost, I believe, 6-2 to the Cubs. I mean, the Dodgers are just, like, how do you beat them? The Cubs were able to do it last night, but it feels like if you don't play your very best game against them, they are going to just mess around and beat you more often than not.
There's just no let up in that lineup. We were talking to Angie Mintique, 2 days ago? She goes, yeah, Tucker's batting 7. 7. You got Teo and Tucker at the bottom of that order.
He was like an MVP candidate like last year, 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's tough, man. And it's always weird for me when I see a player, and when I think of Skubal, I always think of the Tigers, him in that gray or that dark blue. And seeing him in that Dodger blue, it was kind of weird, man. It felt weird.
It did. I will say, though, and people are going to hate me for this because I'm about to compliment the Dodgers. That is one of the few uniforms in baseball where, like, no matter who puts it on, they do look
clean.
In it. Yeah.
It's clean.
It's a very clean uniform.
That Dodger blue with that white, it looks clean. And their rotation is just ridiculous now, man. And Snell's not even healthy.
I think Tyler Glasnow's not healthy either. Like, they are so deep in their rotation. You add a 2-time Cy Young Award winner to what they've got going on, like, it's stupid. But hey, the Cubs beat them last night, so
there you go. They're human.
You can't be too mad.
They can be beat. All right, that was Headline Rewrites. Lots to do today. We're actually going to talk to the offensive coordinator, Brian Fleury, at 12. We got Jordan Shusterman at 11. But when we come back, we're going to check in. Jerry Dipoto has some things to say about the Mariners trade deadline. That's coming up next on the Bump Stacy Show. We got Curtis Rogers filling in.
The champs are back.
So great. Weather's awesome. Guys are in good spirits.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports, has your sideline pass every day with Bump and Stacy live from the VMAC from 10 to 2.
We're going to be able to take in practice all week long.
Then Wyman and Bob from 2 o'clock all the way up to Mariners pregame at 6.
Byron Murphy is with us. How are you, man? You put in the work every day,
The very latest news, insight, and exclusive analysis at seattlesports.com.
If it's blocking your view, keeping your yard dark or shaded, or impossible to mow around, get rid of that tree or stump this summer with P&D Tree Service. They'll do it safely and quickly, cleaning up your yard in the process. P&D Tree turns multi-day jobs into a few hours, saving you time and money. One tree or land clearing, they have the tools and expertise for the job. They specialize in large tree removal. Ever seen a tree removed by crane? PndTreeService.com.
A Wilt Chamberlain 1972 playoff game-worn jacket was recently bought for $3 at a Goodwill in Portland. You may not be sitting on a warm-up jacket worn by Wilt the Stilt, but there's serious value to your old gold, jewelry, watches, silver, and coins. Dave Wyman encouraging you to see what they're worth at Bellevue Rare Coins in Bellevue, Issaquah, Tacoma, and Linwood. They'll give you an honest, no-pressure assessment for free. See how much they're worth at Bellevue Rare Coins, and if the price is right, cash in.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Our number one thing with them is always like, hey, welcome someone in and assure them that they're in the right place. We're going to take care of them.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
At Lake Washington Windows and Doors, we provide top quality windows that are 25% more energy efficient, reduce noise by 50%, and stay clear with low maintenance glass. With leak armor installation and lifetime warranties, you're protected for life. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Progressive presents the Museum of You. We begin our tour with a unique piece, a relic from the early big screen television era. Remarkable. Next, we find a juicer, which historians believe has only ever been used once. And finally, compact discs from the emo era. A rare find indeed. Some things should be history, but until then, you could protect what's important to you and save by bundling your auto insurance with a renter's policy from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Compassion, communication, results. That's Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to PendergastLaw.com. That's PendergastLaw.com.
And Doug.
Hot dog! Get your hot dog!
Customize! Customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Hey, what are you doing?
I like your method. Direct. To the point. A little loud, but...
Listen, people don't buy car insurance the same way they do hot dogs.
Not yet, but both are customizable.
Popcorn! Get your popcorn!
Hey, this is a hot dog area.
And customize and save area. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Are you looking for the best deal on a new home? Discover the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. With new home communities from Lacey to Stanwood, ranging from the low 500s to the high 1 millions, D.R. Horton has the right home at the best value for you. Your new home is within reach, so what are you waiting for? Learn more about the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. Visit drhorton.com and schedule a tour today. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Emerald Queen Casino Event Center presents the main event, powered by WFC, Saturday night, August 8th. A night of professional boxing, where champions are made and every punch counts. Contenders from the region go toe-to-toe, ready to prove they belong at the top. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Don't miss Fight Night, August 8th at Emerald Queen Casino. Always entertaining. 21 and older. Need gambling help? Call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We are live at the Virginia Mason Athletic Center. I'm Michael Bumpus with Curtis Rogers filling in for Stacy.
Hey.
Dad Podcast, baby. Let's get. We're outside, so we look like some dads in our shorts and T-shirts and shades on, looking at the lawn.
Oh, this lawn is immaculate, I must say. The way that they are able to perfectly manicure it, I mean, it's just a testament to human achievement, really. Yeah.
Human achievement. How do we get here? How do we do this? But we are at the Seahawks facility, but we're going to talk a little baseball. If you guys haven't been paying attention, the trade deadline has come and gone. So we got some sound from Jerry Dipoto. One of the first things I thought about when Castile was gone, it's like, all right, what are you going to do with Kade Anderson in cut number 8? Jerry makes it clear, look, he's not going to go in the bullpen. That would be irresponsible.
We're not going to put Kade in the bullpen. He's the best starting pitcher in the minor leagues. I think he leads the minor leagues in everything, not the Texas League, but the minor leagues. And you know, he is trending in every way you can. There's extra velocity. The precision has come so far, even since the day he signed. He's doing everything we could possibly expect or ask of him. We want to build his innings. I think he's at 82 today, and for us to put him in a bullpen right now would be irresponsible for his future development.
He said he leads the minors in everything.
He just about does.
That's crazy.
I mean, he has had an incredible season in Double-A. I think he's going to skip the Triple-A level altogether. Like, he'll never set foot in Tacoma. But I also think that this ultimately, I think, is the right move for Kade Anderson and for the Mariners, because his biggest value to the Mariners is going to be as a starting pitcher. I also kind of wonder, like, does Kade Anderson have the stuff to become a reliever when his stuff, I think, is best as, a guy who can go 6 or 7 innings, throwing mid-90s. You don't have to have him throwing 98, 99 or anything like that in relief. I get that his talent is getting to a point where it's undeniable, but it is maybe tough to hear from Mariners fans to say, like, we're probably not going to see Kade Anderson this season unless something happens in the rotation, which, knock on wood that you don't want to have anybody else get hurt. But that appears to be the best avenue I think the Mariners have charted out for him, is that, like, we want him to be a starter no matter what. And look, he has talent that is rare, especially in terms of pitching prospects that we've seen come through the system. And, like, you look at all the guys, Bump, that have graduated to the big league level in a Mariners uniform over the last 5 or 6 years. Logan Gilbert, George Kirby, Emerson Hancock, Bryce Miller, Brian Wu, all 5 of those guys. Like, it feels like Kade Anderson is even a notch above those guys in terms of his minor league production.
Yeah, it's clear that they have a plan for Kade. In cut number 9, Dipoto says, look, he is our 6th starter. He moved up after that Castile trade.
There is going to come a time where we get to a juncture in the season where we're no longer concerned. Right now, he is the next starter up, and for us, that is an important element, especially now with Louis no longer here. 5 traditional starters on the Major League club, and having a guy like Kade in the background is a really positive thing. So to shorten him up would not be something we would consider. We may get into September if we don't need to tap the extra starter. Now we can talk about more creative things, but we're not going to plan on a runway. We're more likely to be creative in how we used him as a major league once he gets here.
Clearly, they have a plan, right? We will not see him in the bullpen. Curtis, you just pointed it out. Unless something happens to one of the starters, you're probably not going to see him this year. So, Mariners fans, you just have to be patient with that one. And if there's anything you can trust about the Mariners, is they know how to handle these arms, right? They know how to develop and insert them when needed. But now let's move forward. All right, you got Taylor Ward, a move that, who called you to pass and just nail this, a few weeks ago?
Just about, yeah. He was on with Rock and Salk and said, you're going to need to basically give up like 3 minor league pitchers for him, and that's exactly what the Mariners did. Alex Hoppe and then a couple other guys involved in that trade. But, yeah, they didn't have to give up any of their top 10 prospects for him. They didn't have to give up really, anybody that you might be concerned about 4 or 5 years down the road. Like, it was a pretty clean swap for Taylor Ward.
It was. Here's Jerry Dipoto, cut number 10 on the trade for Taylor Ward.
We feel like with Taylor Ward, we got, at least, if not the best right-hand bat that moved at this deadline, and certainly on the short list of the best right-hand bats. Elite on base skills. He's been a good performer in this league for 6 years now, and and he fits our team quite well. Obviously an everyday player who can handle both, but he's particularly good against lefties.
How was his debut?
Well, it's one game. It is, but you do hope to see that on-base tool that he has come up big in moments down the stretch, because you're going to need traffic on the base paths. You're going to need guys getting on base, and hopefully, there's doubles. Hopefully there's home runs that drive in, multiple runs at a time, because it does kind of feel like, too, when the Mariners get a home run this year, Bump, it's usually like a solo shot. There really isn't, a lot of damage done when they do get those good swings on the ball. And hopefully the run producers in your lineup, the Nailers, the Cals, the Julios, they're able to, when they have more opportunities with runners on base, hopefully they're able to cash in, because, you don't trade for a guy like Taylor Ward and just kind of say like, oh, like everybody else, like this, it's taken care of. Like, no, you've got to be able to get contributions from the guys in your lineup that you're expecting, because Taylor Ward's not really a guy that's going to carry an offense for a week at a time. He's going to be, a valuable piece, and hopefully somebody that can continue to draw those walks as the season goes along. You hope that he doesn't, kind of ditch what has made him valuable this season. I get that, the power's way down from where it was a year ago, but there's still value in a guy who has an on-base percentage near 400.
Yeah, I was going to say, he can get on base.
Yeah.
He can get on base. Randy's been getting on base. Young's been getting on base. Now we need those bombs away, man. You got to drive these guys in, like you said. Well, let's hear from Taylor himself, man. And Kade 11, he talks about how he felt being in demand at the trade deadline.
Yeah, it feels great. I mean, that's what you want as a player. Teams will want you. Just that all your hard work is paid off. So, it's an honor to be here, and just happy to, be a part of the team now.
Ain't nothing like being wanted. I think the most wanted I ever was out of high school trying to pick a college. And I tell these kids all the time.
Anywhere you want.
If you're a high-profile athlete, I tell these kids, this is going to be one of the greatest moments of your life, because you get to choose. And, Taylor didn't get to choose, but he was wanted, and that has to be a good feeling for an athlete.
Well, and he's been wanted, I think, by the Mariners for a long time, at least a couple of seasons. I think Justin Hollander said as much with Wyman and Bob earlier this week, where Ward has been a guy that has been on their radar. And I know that the Mariners have never once made a trade with the Angels, so long as Jerry Dipoto has been either the general manager or president of baseball operations. And I don't know if there's still some lingering hurt from Dipoto towards the Angels organization on how that whole situation ended, where Jerry ended up, I believe, resigning because, there was, I don't even really quite know the extent of what went on there, but I felt like, I think, some organizational overreach by like Mike Scioscia, the manager, and Artie Moreno, the owner. But with Taylor Ward kind of being in their focus for a number of years, I think that was something that the Mariners had their sights set on. And when the Mariners have their sights set on a guy, Bump, they pretty much always get that guy. Josh Naylor was somebody a year ago that we had heard a lot about for, about a calendar year or so leading up to that trade deadline, as somebody the Mariners have had interest in. So when the Mariners are really eyeing somebody, they usually go and get them. And the fact that they didn't have to give up a lot to go get Taylor Ward, I think kind of is a good thing, especially considering, some of the price tags for guys that were getting traded. The Mariners, I think, improved themselves by getting Taylor Ward.
Yeah, and it's almost like the Mariners let you know what they're about to do, too. Hey, we're about to go get this guy. So welcome to the Northwest, Taylor Ward. And not a great debut, but hopefully they get her done tonight. Tonight on the mound, we got Drew Anderson against Brian Wu. Today's pitcher matchup is brought to you by Eastside Exterminators. When we come back, I'm looking at a lawn. It's Wednesday, 10:45. It's time for me to get grumpy. Get off my lawn. Next on the Bump Stacy Show.
The champs are back.
So great. Weather's awesome. Guys are in good spirits.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports, has your sideline pass every day with Bump and Stacy live from the VMAC from 10 to 2.
We're going to be able to take in practice all week long.
Then Wyman and Bob from 2 o'clock all the way up to Mariners pregame at 6.
Byron Murphy is with us. How are you, man? Put in the work every day,
The very latest news, insight, and exclusive analysis at seattlesports.com.
Brock Ewart here with my buddy Shannon O'Kelly from IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Shannon, we met about a decade ago when you came into the studio, and at that point, IRG was humming, but you were not 40 locations strong all over the neighborhood. How have you done this, and why?
Number one, Brock, great people. Our strength here at IRG is our people. Secondly, we are a company that has a culture of giving back and taking care of our patients, taking care of our team, and thirdly, taking care of our community. We want to be your family physical therapist. More importantly, we want to be your family's neighborhood physical therapist. We want you to come in, have a great experience, and get better and get out there and be pain-free and function.
Take care of your friends. Taking care of your neighbors, taking care of your community, and taking care of Western Washington. With over 40 locations now, that's exactly what IRG Physical and Hand Therapy is doing. Find them in person, find them online at irgpt.com. That's irgpt.com.
When you see this in your kitchen,
the stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
You hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves, or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Hey, Mariners fans, the Law Tigers are teaming up with your Seattle Mariners and Destination Harley-Davidson to give one lucky fan a custom 2026 Street Bob to celebrate 50 seasons. Now, the bike was painted by the legendary VC Designs. You can enter now at mariners.com. The bike will be given away live at the game on September 22nd, so go to marinersbike.com to enter today. Again, that's marinersbike.com to win. And the Law Tigers were born from a passion for the open road. It's Bob Stelton here, and I've been riding for quite a while now, and it's nice to know these guys are in my corner if I need them. Law Tigers was built by riders for riders, protecting what matters most, your freedom, your family, and the ride. They're available 24/7, 365, and your case evaluation is always free. There are no fees until your case settles. So if you're injured in a motorcycle accident, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS or visit lawtigers.com. With Law Tigers, you never ride alone. Cook Law Office, PLLC, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
Hey, baseball fans, Rick Riz here. I'm excited to introduce you to my good friend Keith Dashafy, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Keith?
Thanks, Rick. At Pella Windows and Doors, we pride ourselves on delivering top-quality windows and doors that enhance the beauty and energy efficiency of your home. Our products are built to last with innovative designs and exceptional craftsmanship. Whether you're looking to upgrade your windows or install new doors, Pella has you covered.
That's fantastic, Keith. Don't wait. Schedule your free appointment today at PellaPNW.com.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
For over 113 years, Pacific Lamp and Supply Company has been your #1 lighting specialist in Washington, from the Space Needle in Seattle all the way to the Riverwalk in Spokane. With the largest lighting inventory in Washington, Pacific Lamp's knowledgeable and experienced staff can assist with any lighting issue, including intricate lighting and control designs. Plus, they work with all utilities in Washington to get you the best available lighting rebates. Pacific Lamp and Supply Company, Washington's lighting experts since 1912. Visit pacificlamp.com.
Here it comes, possibly the biggest online midsummer auction anywhere of heavy equipment, trucks, tools, lumber, and much more. Presented by the Murphy Auction Company, bidding gets underway at 10 a.m. Thursday, August 6th, and closes at 10 a.m. August 13th. Featured items include a 2020 Bobcat E32i excavator with less than 1,000 hours, a 2016 Freightliner 2100 Hydrovac truck, a 2011 John Deere 310J 4x4 backhoe, and much more. 10 excavators, 4 backhoes, 11 forklifts, 5 boom and scissor lifts, 5 rollers, 28 golf golf carts, and more than 60 heavy trucks. But wait, there's more. Attachments, roll-off boxes, shipping containers, contractor tools, lumber, and much more all go into the highest bidder. Preview all items August 11th and 12th, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at our location in Marysville, 3803 136th Street Northeast. For pictures, catalogs, and all details, visit murphyauction.com.
Need a lift? Levitt Machinery is now your authorized JCB dealer in Washington and Oregon. From telehandlers to track and wheel loaders to excavators. JCB equipment is built to work as hard as you do. Whether you buy, rent, or lease, Levitt Machinery is here to support you. With expert service and local parts in stock, LevittMachinery.com. Talk to Levitt Machinery today. Stack it, reach it, lift it, Levitt.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Virginia Mason Athletic Center is coming alive. We're seeing the staff get the field ready. You got the tents up top for the fans. I think it's open practice today, huh?
Yeah.
Open practice.
Yeah, we're going to be crowded with people here.
It's gonna be live out here. The fans have been showing up and having a blast, man. It's fun to see the kids take advantage of the jumping house and all that stuff. Hawks do a good job, all right? It puts you in a good mood, but on Wednesdays at 10:45, I'm not in a good mood. There's some things that bother me. It has nothing to do with sports at times, so let's get in.
I would say most of the time.
Most of the time. It started off as a sports thing, and then it's like, you know what? Let's life this.
Yeah.
Let's life this. All right.
Let's really unpack.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
All right. What's the protocol for passing gas in public?
I mean, I try not to do it.
You try not to do it, and I guess sometimes you just have to do it, right? So I'm walking. I went to the Hyatt the other day, and I go to this restaurant called The Suite, right? So I'm walking through the lobby, and it's just me and this guy. We're walking past each other. We look each other in the eyes.
Right.
He gets one step past me, and he lets three go. Bah, bah, bah.
Dang.
I'm like, bruh, you couldn't wait 20 more feet to let this thing go. And the audacity to look me in my eyes, look me in my soul. And then he lets it
unhinged.
go. I'm like, listen, me personally, I try not to do it. If I do, I'll go to the restroom. I'll make sure I'm in a place where nobody's around. But walking right by somebody and not just one, dropping three and not saying anything.
A triple shot?
Triple shot was ridiculous to me.
We got a sniper in the building.
I had to stop and look. And like, did he really just do that? Then I realized if I stop, it's going to get me. Keep moving.
Yeah.
You got to move away from this thing, man.
Get out of there.
So, then I had me thinking, I go, what should he have done? I said, you know what you should have done? You should have waited till about 30 more feet past me.
Yeah.
Go to a restroom or something and let that thing go. It was I was appalled, actually.
Yeah, you gotta wait till you're out of earshot of somebody else.
Out of earshot.
And especially if it's just you and another person walking down a hallway, like there's no plausible deniability. It was you. It was always you. Like you've gotta if you're going to fart in public. This is my PSA. You've got to make sure that there's some kind of plausible deniability because, I mean, sure, he who denied it supplied it, but you can't just be so obvious in it because then you look like a crazy person.
Look like a crazy person.
Now, if I'm with my kids, like putting the blame on them, it's perfect.
Oh,
it's built in.
It's always their fault.
Yeah,
it's always their fault. Nasty kids. All right, next up.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
This is when I knew I was one of the indicators that let me know I was getting old. Whenever there's construction going on, I really want to know what the plan is. I'm like, what are we doing here? Right? Like, somebody tell me. I mean, I want to see.
You go up to the fence, you're like,
hey, what we got here, huh?
It's a nice excavator.
I was going to say, is that excavator over there? Yeah, you're digging, huh?
You got a bobcat going there? Oh, okay.
So for the longest, right, I hop on the 405 all the time. And exit on 85th in Kirkland, they've been going to work, right? So I hop off the other day, and typically there's a light system there, right?
Uh-huh.
And it just always gets backed up. And I hopped off, and it was a roundabout system. And I said, this is what I'm talking about. More roundabouts getting on and off of freeways because it just keeps the traffic flowing. Like, you might stop for a minute, but it keeps going. The light system is outdated. Get rid of that at least at the exiting and entering a freeway, get rid of the lights. It needs to be all roundabouts. Whoever came up with that design on 85th in Kirkland/Redmond, you did it. You are cooking. You did your thing. It was smooth. It was beautiful. Big ups to whoever created that.
That is a radical one, but I see the vision because, yeah, it does keep the flow of traffic going. You're not stopping for minutes at a time, and then while you're stopped, it backs up, a whole mile away. I think of that exit trying to get on 18 headed towards, like, Auburn, where they did actually kind of redo the layout of it, but it still backs up like crazy when you're driving from, like, the Snoqualmie area headed west, I think? Yeah,
headed west.
So, if there was a roundabout system to keep that backup from getting as bad as it could be, sure, let's do it. Like, I know roundabouts are always there are people who have no idea how to do a roundabout.
No.
And
you got to be a little aggressive.
Right, yeah. You can't – it's like jump roping.
Yeah.
Like when they're doing double dutch.
Yeah.
You can't just go in half. Like you're gonna ruin everything. You got to go.
Yeah. Hey, Curtis, it was so smooth. I thought about doing another lap. I was like, this is smooth. Okay, Kirkland/Redmond, y'all represent. It was worth the wait because for like a year I've been trying to figure out what the heck they're gonna do there, and pleasant surprise. So good job there. Next up.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
All right, this one got me yesterday. Okay, you got kids, I got kids. Mine are old now, so I don't have to worry about this. Maybe you relate a bit more. I'm not a fan of putting kids on those leashes, but I understand why you would put a kid on that leash, right? If you have a kid who is a drifter, okay, you must keep eyes on that kid at all times.
Yeah.
Because I'm walking out of VMAC the other day, and the kids are doing the jumpy house, and there are kids just drifting left and right and stopping the flow of traffic, and parents just letting them do it. Oh, he's so cute. He's a drifter. Line him up. We got some traffic going on here. Just drifting kids drive me crazy. Drifting in small areas. Now, if we're in a big open space and people can easily get around, okay, but you always think about the next person.
Yeah.
My kids were drifters. You know what I do? I just tuck out the shirt a little bit. This way. No, this way. Like you have to monitor your drifting kid. Don't let them mess up the flow of traffic.
The worst is when a drifting kid drifts towards you and their parent doesn't do anything to like get them back.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden there's this kid who becomes your responsibility. And it's like, I didn't sign up for this. We were at the splash pad the other day, and sure enough, these two kids who were probably like 3 or 4 years old come kind of drifting towards my wife and I and our two girls, and we're just kind of asking these kids, like, where's your mommy and daddy? Because, like, no adult came after them, like, as they were getting towards us. Like, if I see my kids getting towards an adult that I don't know, I'm, going to step over and be like, oh, hey, how's it going? Like, everything good? Like, no, nobody came towards us because these kids just kind of drifted, and we're like, where's your mommy and daddy? So then we're spending, like, the next 10 minutes trying to find the parent of these two kids. And it's like, this is not what we signed up for going to the park. Like, I'm not here to do a search and rescue. Like, I'm just here to go in the fountains and get my feet wet and have some snacks and get some sunshine. I kind of turned into my get off my lawn.
Hey, I feel you. 100%. I feel you.
Watch your kids in public, please.
I'm going to just start calling them driftwood. Like, hey, there's a driftwood right there. Grab your driftwood. Keep them close to you. It is not the public's responsibility. And I love kids. I work with kids. I have 3 kids. If I could have another one, I'd have another one. But I'm getting old, and I don't want to do that anymore. I'm done with the diaper phase. But, yeah, man, that was my thing yesterday. Grab your kid.
Yeah.
Make sure they're monitored, and everything will be good. All right, that was like a double get off my lawn.
It was.
I like it. Stacy brings that good energy as well, but I had a real dad next to me, so that changes the flow of things just a little bit. All right, we got more to do on the Bump and Stacy Show. Like I said, we're going to talk to the offensive coordinator, Brian Fleury, at 12. But before that, we're going to get back to baseball. You know what it is. We got our guy, Jordan Shusterman from Yahoo Sports, coming up next live.
Seattle Sports, home of Wyman and Bob. 2 to 7.
Seahawks out here, Hard Knocks, film crew is out here. You kind of have to look for them. They did take up the whole gravel parking lot out there with all their trailers. Oh, did they? Yeah, but I think Mike McDonald, this is right up his alley, right? Like how to ignore it and don't worry about all of that stuff. He's all about that. It's going to be interesting to watch what footage they use, and they're out there recording everything. They got it dialed in. They've done this before.
On Seattle Sports. Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Let me ask you something. When was the last time you compared your insurance?
If you're like most people, it's probably been years.
That's exactly why I took the First Mark Challenge. They searched rates from dozens of top insurance companies, and I ended up saving thousands of dollars.
Same experience here. And here's what surprised me. It was completely free. No cost, no obligation. They simply show you whether they can find you lower premiums, better coverage, or both.
Why wouldn't you take the First Mark Challenge? Think about it. If they can save you money, you win. If they can improve your coverage, you win. And if they can't do either, you've lost absolutely nothing.
That's why more than 11,000 clients trust First Mark Insurance. They work for you, not a single insurance company.
Plus, First Mark has world-class customer service. When you need help, you're talking with local people who know you and your policy, not some random call center.
Stop wondering if you're paying too much. Find out.
Before you renew, let First Mark review.
You have nothing to lose and possibly thousands to save.
Take the First Mark Insurance Challenge today at firstmarkinsurance.com.
Firstmarkinsurance.com.
I felt like I had pins and needles sticking into my feet like they were on fire. Couldn't figure out what was going on and suffered with it. Very uncomfortable to try to get to sleep. So I started to do some research, and it sounded like it might be peripheral neuropathy. If you have it in your feet, it migrates up towards your knees. So I thought I better take care of this. My primary care physician was only offering me gabapentin. It's a nerve blocker, and it didn't make a difference. Maybe toned it down a little bit, but it was so painful to walk. I called Sound Pain Solutions, and right away I got a good feeling. Had my first appointment. They said, we're going to help you. We're going to get through this. So I said, okay, let's do it.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. We use non-surgical, drug, and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers find relief.
My husband and I went on a trip through the Panama Canal, and being able to walk was really delightful.
Schedule a free consultation to learn if you qualify for our non-surgical and drug-free treatments at soundpainsolutions.com.
August is always a time of excitement because football is back. But anyone that watches practice or preseason games knows how much work needs to be done before the season starts. If you're feeling the same about your home project, Harley Exteriors wants to help you get a head start on making sure your home is ready for fall football nights. $500 off each window, $750 off patio and entry doors, and $200 off your final project. Spend a few minutes with the folks at Harley Exteriors during your free estimate, and you'll realize you have a lot in common. They love our local teams, they're good at what they do, and they'll take care of your home. Use Harley Exteriors to complete your home project this month and receive 12 or 18-month promotional financing.
Qualified buyers only. Subject to credit approval and lender terms. Minimum purchase of 4 qualifying windows required. Windows must be 36 by 36 inches or larger. No size minimum on patio or entry doors. Financing subject to approved credit. Offers cannot be combined with other promotions. Offer expires August 31st, 2026.
HarleyExteriors.com.
Ooh, that face. Quantum Fiber Internet loves that face.
That's Jamila.
Yay to Jamila.
She's thinking outside the box from inside the box.
Quantum Fiber Wi-Fi keeps her meeting game strong. From the back door to the front lawn.
Rushing all of her video calls. Back to back to back video calls.
Quantum Fiber Internet blowing the soxies up all those people in all those boxes. Yay to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Additional pods may be needed to achieve Wi-Fi coverage in some locations. Limited availability. Service in select locations only.
Pests and poor insulation have something in common. One call to Eastside Exterminators takes care of both. For more than 50 years, families across Western Washington have trusted Eastside Exterminators to eliminate pests for good and protect homes from crawl space to attic. With dedicated installation services and the state's only smart pest detection technology. From Everett to Federal Way, one call handles it all. 425-482-2271 or visit eastsideexterminators.com. Eastside Exterminators, family first pest control.
Summertime is Pacific Power Batteries time. Okay, maybe that's a stretch. But we do sell more batteries in the spring and summer because you folks are all out there doing stuff. Golf carting and boating and buzzing around on stuff that needs batteries. Well, when's a good time? How about tomorrow? We're open 7 days a week to test any battery and let you know the honest answer. Summertime and the cranking is easy. Happy trails from Pacific Power Batteries.
Looking for a new Mazda? Check out Mazda of Everett during the More to Move You sales event. As the West Coast's largest Mazda dealer, they have over 700 new Mazdas in stock and are known for always offering the Mazda of Everett price. Awarded Mazda's President's Award 13 years in a row and ranked among the top 20 Mazda dealers in the USA for customer service. Shop at 11409 Highway 99 in Everett or MazdaofEverett.com. Dealer awards and rankings based on Mazda USA reporting and data.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Not quite the debut we were hoping for from the Mariners after the trade deadline. The M's fell to the Tigers 8-0. They try again tonight at 6:40. Wu is on the mound. Hard Knocks premiered last night and has gotten some great reactions. The Northwest definitely represented, and the Storm take on the Liberty today at 4 p.m.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
Curtis Rogers in for Stacy Ross. We are here live at the Virginia Mason Athletic Center. We are joined now by Yahoo Sports, Jordan Shusterman. Jordan, how we doing?
Hello. What's going on, guys?
You know, we're just out here being dads, touching grass, and talking ball, man. That's what we do. Hey, the trade deadline, I called it responsible. I thought the M's did what they were supposed to do. You get a reliever, you get a bat. It's supposed to be good against lefties. Obviously, last night was not the start to this whole thing that we wanted. But your initial reactions from the trade deadline and how you view this team, and last night too.
Yeah, I mean, certainly not the first impression you were looking for, certainly from Dominguez in particular. But I do agree with you. I think that's actually a perfect way to describe it. Responsible. They did check some boxes. Did they do enough? Regardless of what happened last night, I think that could certainly be debated. I do think, I've been coming on here all season saying that they need to add at least one reliever, probably two. I do still think that Dominguez can be that. But I also have to imagine, especially with Luis Castillo out the door now, we know that they are strongly considering Kade Anderson coming up. I have to imagine, and this is also not just based on how it's kind of trended recently and what happened last night, it feels like the organization is really banking on moving Hancock to the bullpen and having Anderson be that five-starter, and that would just certainly put some length in the bullpen and maybe even some impact if Hancock can really pick up in a meaningful way. Whether that's the best possible strategy, and you could just say, well, why didn't you just get an actual other reliever? That's totally reasonable. But I agree with you. I think responsible is the way to say it. But frankly, look, this team has underperformed all season. There's still a lot of talent involved. There's still an opportunity here to go and win the West. But they're going to have to pick it up at some point because they have really struggled to find any sort of serious momentum.
One guy they did add is Taylor Ward, who has had incredible on-base skills this season, leading the American League in walks heading into the deadline, but the power numbers have dropped significantly. Jordan, when you look at what Taylor Ward has been throughout the course of his career, is that an impact bat, or is that going to be somebody that, is just going to, at this point in his career, maybe just be a guy that gets on base, picks up a nice base hit here or there? What kind of player profile is Ward, and maybe was it the left field in Baltimore impacting those power numbers? What do you make of the dip in that category?
So bizarre. One of the stranger year-over-year kind of evolutions that I can remember seeing for a player that is still being productive. And it's weird, right? Do you attribute it to the environment in Baltimore, to some sort of change in coaching in Baltimore? Like, what do you do? Because remember, they moved the wall out, but then they did move it back in. It's not like that was I don't think that was going to be that much of a hamper for right-handed hitters the way that it was briefly there. That said, there is still a ton of value in him being an on-base presence, someone who can really work counts, can see a lot of pitches. The reality is with this lineup, the only one who really is doing that consistently is JP, right? And he's out right now. So there is still slug, there is still damage, and Randy, I would say, also generally sees a lot of pitches. But Ward, even if he is in this form, does bring something that this lineup does lack right now, and so there is value there. But maybe there's also untapped potential, and he can get back to slugging the way that he has for a lot of his career, and certainly last year when I believe he hit a career-high 36 or 37 home runs. So it's been bizarre watching him this year, but I think when you consider the cost that they had to pay to get him, which, frankly, with all due respect to those three pitchers, really wasn't that much in the grand scheme of things, I think it was still a really good bit of business, especially when you consider how few bats were out there moving at the deadline.
Again, not the debut that we were looking for, but we saw Sir Anthony out there yesterday. Gave up 2 bombs, but again, Curtis pointed out he hasn't been the greatest at T-Mobile. What should we expect from him? I'm going to act like last night didn't happen. Going forward, what should we expect?
Yeah, I think the reason why I was optimistic about Dominguez, I mean, listen, the downside is that, of course, if you're Mariners fan thinking about Dominguez, you're thinking about him allowing a pretty big home run, and then now his debut here gives you that again. I would say the reason, and the fact that he is making like a good amount of money that you're signing up for there, it's kind of offsetting some of the money you're saving from dumping Castillo. What I would say is, like, the reason why I was optimistic about that move is that he was miscast in Chicago all along. I mean, he's clearly not someone that you should be depending on in the 9th or maybe even the 8th inning. But he still has real stuff. He still has an above-average strikeout rate. He's still throwing quite hard. And you have to imagine that this coaching staff should be able to get him to be at least a reliable 6th or 7th inning guy. I mean, this is still an arm that is major league quality that I think does improve the depth and in some ways the upside of this bullpen. Unfortunately, though, of course, that was not the best introduction, and then maybe it will take some time for him to settle into whatever this new role is. But I think that there is a version where he can be what they're looking for in terms of upgrading this bullpen. But clearly there's going to be some tweaks that are going to happen.
How surprised were you that it was Castillo of the surplus of starting pitching that the Mariners have? How surprised were you that he was the one that got dealt? I know George Kirby's name had gotten tossed out. Emerson Hancock's name was definitely in trade talks as well. Were you surprised at all that it was Castillo and only Castillo that got moved?
A little bit, but not really. I think, unfortunately, and this is where I'm not part of the conversation I have any interest in having, but unfortunately, it does seem that getting off of the rest of his contract was something that was maybe prioritized more than moving off of Hancock or Kirby. And maybe that just has to do with flexibility moving forward into next year when you consider how much he was owed. And just the fact that it's that in tandem with him no longer being one of their 5 best starting pitchers. And so you could say, well, that's still, if you still have Kade, then why do you make another move, whether using Hancock or Kirby to go really upgrade the offense? I think that that's fair. But I wasn't shocked because it did seem like because of the contract commitment for next year and the fact that they found someone that was willing to take on the whole thing in tandem with the fact that he's just no longer one of their 5 best pitchers, I think all of that added up to me not being shocked that he was the one to go.
Stepping outside of Seattle, who impressed you the most at the trade deadline? I know there wasn't going into it. There wasn't like a lot of hype. I mean, obviously, Skubal going to the Dodgers wasn't a shock, but that was probably the biggest move. But who else do you think did their thing during the trade deadline?
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of different categories, right? Because you have the teams that just straight up went for it, right? I mean, what Boston did is just astonishing. The amount that they paid, moving on from Marcelo Meyer to get a reliever in Eric Miller. For Craig Breslow, and we talked about this on the podcast that we recorded this morning, for Craig Breslow to suddenly be acting like Dave Dombrowski is shocking, it's startling. But also, if you're a Red Sox fan, you're like, hell yeah, let's do it. Let's finally try and go for something. They're 32-8 in their last 40 games. You can imagine there's a lot of confidence there right now. But there's also teams that were sellers that I think did a really good job. It's been a disaster in San Francisco this year, but I really like a lot of the prospects that the Giants got back. I thought they did a good job. I think what Toronto did was really interesting, balancing the buying and selling, considering how disappointing their season has been. And it's not always automatic. Even when you are an obvious seller, it doesn't mean that you are guaranteed to crush a deadline. And frankly, I was a little bit underwhelmed by what the Mets were able to do, considering they were as obvious of a seller as any across the league. They did add some interesting prospects. When you consider how many pitchers they were moving, I thought they could have done a little bit better. So those are some teams that stand out, but Boston's the one that still has my head spinning as the deadline moves farther in the past.
How surprised were you to see Texas and Houston kind of sit out the deadline? I know they made a couple of minor moves here or there, but they were largely inactive. And, I mean, the AL West is as tight as it can be. A move here or there could really swing the division. How surprised were you to see those two teams just kind of sit things out?
I was very surprised, and I think that that's also part of why you can't give the Mariners credit for that, but it is a stroke of fortune that these two other teams that they're competing with did not really upgrade in any sort of meaningful way. If anything, it seems like Texas was way more likely to be subtracting. It sounds like they were ready to trade Jacob deGrom, and deGrom said no. So that kind of indicates that they were ready to go backwards. Whereas Houston, I think, was a little bit of a different conversation because they just don't have a whole lot to trade. And if they were trying to make meaningful upgrades, which I think that they probably should have when you consider the state of their pitching staff and the state of their outfield, Dalton Varsho will certainly help, but they just didn't have a lot to move off of. And so now, at the same time, you could say, well, neither did the Padres, and they managed to get Robbie Ray and Casey Mize. There's always a level of risk tolerance. Maybe Dana Brown, even though he's in theory fighting for his job, was not willing to completely mortgage the future to try and get this team to win a division title. But, yeah, I think that Houston is a lot more surprising than Texas because it seemed like Texas over the last few weeks had really telegraphed that they just – or I should say over the last week after they got swept by the Astros, that they really weren't interested in adding aggressively, which, again, is, I think, a really fortunate sequence for Seattle.
Where does a guy like Ref Snyder go from here? Because it wasn't too long ago where he was just mashing lefties. Like, what's up for him now?
Oh, my goodness. Well, I mean, are the Boston Red Sox interested? I will say I do think someone else will give him a chance. I don't know if someone else is going to guarantee him a major league roster spot right away, but I have to imagine when you consider the track record and you consider just how bad it went in Seattle, you could just be like, well, whatever it was not working. Let's just give him a fresh chance to really, reprove what he had really done over the previous half decade. So where that's going to be, I don't know. Is it going to be a contender? Is it going to be a team that is maybe not necessarily in it, but just wants to see if they can help him get back on track? It's hard to really say. At the same time, I would be surprised if nobody picks him up. I would be surprised if this is the end for him. Now, granted, he is, 35, 36, so he's a little bit older. So it's a little bit of a different conversation for like a reclamation project. That said, there are always teams, when you consider we just had a deadline where everyone was looking for right-handed hitters, it wouldn't be shocking if someone talked themselves into him.
Jordan, Brendan Donovan finally made his return. He's been out since May. Has only played in about 26 games this season. When you look at a guy who has basically missed the entire season coming back at this point in the year, what are expectations for him? Are there any? What do you think the Mariners can get out of him here in the season's final 7 weeks?
So I'm going to not answer your question because I have no clue what to expect from him. But what I am going to do is say thank you for bringing him up because he really is such a big deal. Like, think about how he was considered when they acquired him as just the obvious, missing piece. They ended up missing piece, but just really rounded out the offense, rounded out the position player group. And now more than ever, now, like I said, I have no idea what to expect from him. He did not look good during his rehab outing. He has missed, for, as you said, essentially the whole season. So to pretend like I think he's going to suddenly be the spark, I don't know. At the same time, this is someone with a real track record that if he is healthy, maybe he starts to get regular at-bats. He does start to find a groove. When you consider the state of this offense, consider the reality that Cole Emerson has not been producing so far offensively, I don't think that means he's necessarily going back to Tacoma. But this is a real opportunity for Brendan Donovan to kind of redeem what was thought to be a extremely, timely and well-fitting, just a great acquisition that seemed to be rounding out a World Series contender. So many things have changed, obviously, since he has been out, but he can still be part of that puzzle, and just seeing his name in the lineup was a reminder of just how big of a deal it felt like it was when he first got that. Now, thankfully, he's also under contract for another season, so this isn't just like, well, you better do something now because you're about to leave. But, man, I do think that this is an opportunity for him. Alternatively, it's also pressure on him to really show that he was supposed to be a big part of this thing.
We got Drew Anderson and Wu on the mound tonight. Tell me about this matchup.
here's why it's a must-win. Now, must-wins in August, must-wins, anyone saying must-wins in the regular season always feels silly. Brian Wu has been unbelievable at home and obviously not that on the road. So Brian Wu's got to win the home starts. At this point, it's been clear that he's been having issues on the road. So far, it has not really impacted him at home, and especially against a pitcher like Drew Anderson, who's now transitioning back to the rotation and has not necessarily had that much success in a rotation role. This is one where it favors the Mariners in a lot of different respects. And so, hopefully for them, they can get back on track because they should have the real edge on the mound. And for Wu in particular, he's been money at T-Mobile. And there's no reason for me to expect that to be different tonight.
Obviously, Wu's season has not gone to plan. You mentioned his home and road splits. This is kind of a depressing question, but outside of Cal, because Cal's in such a different category in terms of 2025 production to 2026, whose drop-off do you think has had maybe the second biggest impact on this Mariners team? Because unfortunately, there are quite a few guys underperforming what they did last year.
Yeah, I think you can kind of look at almost all of the starting pitchers, although Wu, because he was an All-Star last year and looked like he was pushing himself into the inner circle of American League starting pitchers, I think he's certainly an answer. I mean, look, I'll still keep going back to Naylor. I mean, just because he has been in the lineup essentially every day and has not really been at the same level, and because he's not necessarily providing the defensive base running that someone like Julio is, it's just on the bat. And for how perfect of a fit he was in the second half last year and into the postseason, we just haven't really felt that impact. But I do think that the starting pitching is a worthwhile place to look at when you consider that. I think people that aren't watching them every day might assume that they still have this juggernaut starting pitching. And yes, there are, in respects, the upside of it is absolutely still there and why they could still be dangerous if they can get into October. But the consistency has not been anywhere close to what it has been over the previous few years. And that's true also at home, right? I mean, Wu has those extreme splits, but the last few years, you pretty much knew that this was going to be an unbelievably tough team to score against in Seattle, and quite often the case on the road as well. But now it's just like, I mean, all of these starting pitchers have been capable of serious clunkers in a way that has not really been true in recent seasons, and I think that that's a big part of why they're are where they are. But also the bullpen, I think people are much more likely and willing to blame the bullpen because those players, it's easier to kind of dunk on them than it is the starters, who have a lot more, I think, fan affection. But I think that there is some responsibility on both sides there.
He is Yahoo Sports' Jordan Shusterman. Jordan, where can the people find you? What else you got going?
Baseball Barbacast. We had our trade deadline reaction special on Monday, and we've got some more Scooble Red Sox. We got George Lombard Jr. debut happened last night in the Bronx. So that pod just dropped today, and we'll be back on Monday, Wednesday, Friday all throughout the season and ramp it up for October.
You know where to find them. Thanks, Jordan.
Thanks, Jordan.
Thanks, guys.
All right, let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
All right, first down to you, Bump. What's something the Cardinals are doing that you hope the Seahawks don't do?
The Cardinals are sitting Jeremiah Love the first game. It's the Hall of Fame game on Thursday. And I kind of understand why they're doing it. He's their pride and joy. He doesn't want him to get hurt. But for the Hawks, Price needs to play. I need him to get some carries. So last year I looked up, okay, who's the first running back taken off the board? It was Genty. Genty in the preseason had 12 carries for 37 yards. That second game, he had 7 carries against the Niners. I just want to see Price get some, Price get some work. I think you don't have to work him for a full quarter or half a game. Get him 2 or 3 touches and let him go. I want him to feel the NFL game. It's going to be a bit different. Starters aren't going to be out there, but I think it's important that he understands what this game is all about. He's a great ball player. I think he'll be fine. I think the Cardinals are being a little too cautious. If I were the Cardinals, I want Love to get out there and touch the ball. Give him the first play of the game and then sit him down. But I just want to see him out there. I hope the Hawks don't take that strategy too.
Second down. All right, Bump. 1 episode of Hard Knocks in the books. What did you love most about it?
You said it earlier. It's the way Mike McDonald is. I haven't been behind the scenes with him often. I've met with him his first year several times, got to know him a bit, but he seems a bit more comfortable with who he is. I mean, when you are a Super Bowl champion, your second year in the game, when you have the best defense in the game, that swag is going to be turned up. And I felt like the swag is turned up in his way. He's not a very outgoing person or flashy type of guy, but you feel the confidence that he has and the relationships that he has with his players. And I think that's so important. I've coached high school football for 15, 16 years. And from year 1 to year 16, my coaching style has changed because the athlete has changed, right? You got to be able to get with the times and get with the flow. And I see exactly that. I think it's cool seeing the way he interacts with his ball players.
Third down. All right, Bump. Practice is, about an hour and a half away? A little more than an hour and a half away. So what's a name you will be paying attention more to today?
So we sat down with Jalen Milroe yesterday, and we asked him, who's a guy that needs more love, that doesn't get the love he deserves? And he said Stacy's guy, Monterey Foster Jr. He said he attacks the football, he runs great routes, and if you guys didn't know, he was a substitute teacher during the offseason, right? Even a bigger story. If Hard Knocks hadn't tapped in on that yet, y'all need to tap on that. Substitute teacher out here balling and doing his thing. And the relationship between the second or third quarterback and the 2s and 3s receivers is vital. Right, Seneca Wallace is the reason why I made this football team, because we had a great relationship, and he would toss it up to your boy probably when he shouldn't toss it up because he felt like I was going to come down and make the play. If Foster has that relationship with Jalen Milroe, it doesn't say he's going to make the team, but he's going to get more opportunity to make the team because there is a connection. Receivers, if you haven't done it already, you should be best boys with your quarterback. That should be – y'all should go to lunch. Y'all should kick it with your girlfriends, go bowling, all of that stuff, because if you have a connection off the field, it's going to show up on the field. You got to do the work, got to get open and all that stuff. But Jalen Milroe pointed him out, so I will be taking a stronger look at Monterey Foster Jr.
I think that's a great point because so often we see wide receivers.
Montour.
Yeah, I think that's a great point because so often we see receivers and quarterbacks not on the same page. I think most recently of Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown, and it's like, A.J., this is the guy who's going to get you paid.
Yeah.
This is the guy who's going to get you the ball. Like, you got to be doing whatever you can to be on his good side. And, yeah, I think that's very sage advice to give to your fellow receivers out there.
I'll let your QBs.
Fourth down.
Even if you don't like it.
You just got to smile. And be like, that's quarterback. Bump, what do you like about Cooper Kupp's leadership?
During Hard Knocks last night, I saw him in the quarterback room, in the receiver room, and chopping it up with the coaches. Like, my man is everywhere. And he's not the type of guy, if you ever come out to practice, you watch Cooper Kupp. He's not a loud guy. He's not a rah-rah guy. He's more of a personal type of dude. He walks up to people. He talks to them, tries to understand them. But just watching the conversations he's having with every aspect of this team, I think is huge. When you have a resource like Cooper Kupp, you have to use that resource. He's been in the league, 8, 9 years, something like that. He's been Offensive Player of the Year, 2-time Super Bowl champion. He has a lot of knowledge when it comes to the NFC West. Why wouldn't you spend time with Cooper Kupp and kind of understand him? Last summer, we interviewed him, and he gave us the greatest explanation of defense.
Went viral.
Yeah, had a bunch of views. And the reason why it did go viral is because he explained it in a way that the common person can understand. And his understanding of a defense makes you realize why he's probably going to be one of those receivers that hangs around as long as he wants to, like the Larry Fitzgeralds of the world, because he understands the game at another level. It was just fun to watch.
I loved the scenes of him last night in Hard Knocks, too, where like you could tell he noticed something on film and like immediately got into the ear of the guy next to him. Like even JSN, who is by all accounts the best receiver in the NFL, like Cooper Kupp is like, hey man, like you seeing that? The scene of him helping Mike McDonald look at film. Brock was speculating that was like Rams tape that they were looking at, and Mike McDonald's just kind of like, eureka, like of course that's what it is. Like of course you would see that. Cooper Kupp, like I mean, when you talk about like culture signings, like guys that have impact beyond just on the field, I can't remember one in Seahawks history that has had such a positive impact like off the field the way that Cooper Kupp has just kind of got everybody on the same page offensively. Like him and that signing on offense and DeMarcus Lawrence on defense, I mean, man, like those were so huge in terms of like Mike McDonald getting guys who can establish his culture here.
Yeah, man. Nothing like a knowledgeable vet. And they can still play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? DeMarcus got after last year. Cooper Kupp's your number 2 receiver. Great signing by the Seahawks. Okay, when we come back, we're going to look at the timeline, man. You got college football. So got some schools trying to make $1. There's a school that's going above and beyond when it comes to that. And Taylor Trammell had an embarrassing moment. That's next on the Bump Stacy Show.
You hear about it first on Seattle Sports.
Hey, Rod, what are you doing this weekend?
I got a call from Mr. John Stanton. He invited me to the very special weekend to be part of the top 50. So I'm very excited.
Was this important to you?
I've been getting booed there for 27 years, so I kind of had lost hope this story would come full circle, and I'm over the moon, and thank God for the opportunity.
Watch in its entirety on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Here it comes, possibly the biggest online midsummer auction anywhere of heavy equipment, trucks, tools, lumber, and much more. Presented by the Murphy Auction Company, bidding gets underway at 10 a.m. Thursday, August 6th, and closes at 10 a.m. August 13th. Featured items include a 2020 Bobcat E32i excavator with less than 1,000 hours, a 2016 Freightliner 2100 Hydrovac truck, a 2011 John Deere 310J 4x4 backhoe, and much more. 10 excavators, 4 backhoes, 11 forklifts, 5 boom and scissor lifts, 5 rollers, 28 golf carts, and more than 60 heavy trucks. But wait, there's more. Attachments, roll-off boxes, shipping containers, contractor tools, lumber, and much more all go into the highest bidder. Preview all items August 11th and 12th, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at our location in Marysville, 3803 136th Street Northeast. For pictures, catalogs, and all details, visit murphyauction.com.
Hey, Mike Salk here for Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, and not all getaways are going to earn 4 diamonds, but you can experience the 4 Diamond Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, where the breathtaking views, elevated dining, and world-class gaming and entertainment make the perfect escape. Also, check out upcoming shows. You got 80s pop sensation Taylor Dane on September 6th, or local rock legends Queensryche on October 10th. Tickets at snocasino.com. You can elevate your next getaway. That's 4 Diamond and Seattle's closest Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Please game responsibly.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. John's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, where he can get a battery for under $100. Lonnie, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge, and Lonnie does that for free too. In no time at all, John is back on the road, ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone, AutoZone. John's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, where he can get a battery for under $100. Lonnie, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge, and Lonnie does that for free too. In no time at all, John is back on the road, ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a social media manager.
Did you just post our Q4 earnings to your personal social media?
Oh yeah, used the trending audio and everything.
That's confidential financial data.
Relax. It only went a little viral.
The SEC just commented with the eyeball watching emoji.
This is the job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
The champs are back.
Really excited to get going.
Nobody covers Seahawks training camp like the home of your Super Bowl champions, Seattle Sports.
Got neighbors? Big Trees can help. This is Nancy Penrose, owner of Big Trees in Snohomish. If you've been considering planting trees to add privacy, look no further than Big Trees. Privacy trees fill in empty spaces, help to define property lines, and add curb appeal. Learn more about Big Trees' big supply of privacy trees at bigtreesupply.com.
Beauty, privacy, instantly. Big Trees.
Hey, Mariners fans, the Law Tigers are teaming up with your Seattle Mariners and Destination Harley-Davidson to give one lucky fan a custom 2026 Street Bob to celebrate 50 seasons. Now, the bike was painted by legendary VC Designs. You can enter now at marinersbike.com. The bike will be given away live at the game on September 22nd. Go to marinersbike.com to enter today. Again, that's marinersbike.com to win. It's Bob Stelton here, and the Law Tigers was born from a passion for the open road. So if you find yourself injured in a motorcycle crash, don't settle for firms that say they're motorcycle lawyers. Trust the ones who actually live it, because you need someone who understands the ride. For 25 years, Law Tigers has helped thousands of riders with one mission: to serve the motorcycle community. Your case evaluation is always free. There are no fees until your case settles. The Law Tigers, 25 years strong. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS or visit lawtigers.com. With Law Tigers, you never ride alone. Cook Law Office, PLLC, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
Olympic Hot Tub has more ways than ever to achieve total wellness at home. Immerse yourself in a saltwater hot spring spa and let jets melt stress away. Enjoy a refreshing swim in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to healing warmth and detox in a Tilo sauna. Then awaken mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
This is The Timeline. Curtis Rogers in for Stacy. Let's get into it. Everyone in college football is looking to make a buck, but one MAC school has gone to drastic measures. University of Akron will let its season ticket holders script their first drive of the year against FCS level Robert Morris University, and their season ticket packages start at $75.
So $75, you could be the offensive coordinator
for a drive. And you know what? Put that pressure on a fan who thinks they know everything. I love it. I would, you know what, and make them be in the booth with the headset on, have to communicate the call
with the call sheet.
Yeah, have them feel it.
You got to get it in.
Everyone thinks they're a coordinator.
I think, first off, whoever thought of this has probably played like a lot of Madden or a lot of NCAA football, because so many of us, have our set plays that we like to run in Madden.
Yeah.
Even though it kind of goes against all like reasonable, rational thinking in terms of play calling. Because, like, if I'm winning this contest and, you pay $75, you could win it. My first play is 4 verticals, 4 verts. Then if that doesn't convert, we're going 4 verts, but with trips right.
Yeah.
Instead, just to throw off the defense. And if that doesn't work, we're going 4 verts again. and now if you don't convert, now it's 4th down. 4 verts. Yeah.
You're literally playing Madden.
Exactly.
You know what I hate when I play Madden with my kids? Like, I follow like football rules.
Uh-huh.
Like, 3rd and 8, I'm going to put on the foot and punt it.
Yeah.
They don't punt. They never punt.
Never
punt. It drives me crazy. When I was my first offensive coordinator gig was at Redmond High School in like 2011, and we had a contest something similar to this. It was a fan. You had to pay and enter a raffle. A fan called one of the plays, I think it's like during the second quarter or something like that.
Oh,
Why did we wait till the second quarter? I don't know. That should have been like the very first play.
Maybe like the least impactful time of a game.
Yeah.
Like in the middle of the second quarter.
I'm like, all right. And they didn't do anything crazy. It was like a quick game or something like that. I think the fan who won that was probably a real football guy or girl and was like, listen, let's get some yards on first down.
Yeah, we don't need to get crazy.
They weren't thinking 4 verts, Curtis. They were not thinking 4 verts. That'd be great, though. 4 verts first down.
How disrespectful do you feel if you're Robert Morris University, where like you have a shot, I think, to beat a MAC school if you're an FCS school? Like, I would say the MAC is probably nowadays. I would say it's probably the worst of the group of 5 conferences in college football. No disrespect to my Maction heads out there, Tuesday night Maction on ESPN, but like I feel like Robert Morris, regardless, I don't even know how good of a football program they have, but like I feel like that's a game they could win, at least be competitive in.
Yeah. That's bulletin board material over there.
Yeah.
They're letting a fan.
You're going to lose to a fan?
What if the fan puts together a 13-play, 80-something yard drive for a touchdown?
Yeah, it takes 8 minutes off the clock.
Oh, my God. That fan would be putting in applications for office coordinators at a local high school near you.
I feel like Akron is probably going to give this fan a list of plays that they, would normally put in their opening game script. And they'd be like, just kind of rearrange it in the order you see fit. We don't want to get too off script here. I'm sure they've got a lot of gadget plays in their playbook, sure.
For sure.
But you're not going to run those first play of the game.
No.
Not normally.
No. Now, that's whoever – you know what this just did? I'm going to watch that game. I'm going to watch that game, and I'm going to critique that very first drive. Whoever gets that, good luck to you. $75, and you could be that person. Next up. All right, baseball broadcasters, they go off topic sometimes, but Phillies color analyst John Crook got morbid during Tuesday's game.
Someday somebody will have to explain it to us. I guess part of it is he comes in, sometimes against the bottom of the order, so maybe it builds confidence because he gets the first few guys out. If you're a starting pitcher, you're starting pitcher.
Well, I hope I'm long gone before that day comes before we get that explanation. That might make sense.
That one's lined out to shortstop. Nunez makes the catch. One away. If I do get it, though, I'm going to somehow figure out how I can get it to you.
Yeah, just stick it in my casket. Unless I get cremated, then just put it in with me when they set me on fire, baby.
Fly ball foul. Maybe I'll get it engraved on,
Oh, yeah, my urn.
Yeah. Reason number one.
Yeah. I got a funny story about urn I'll have to tell you when we're not on the air.
I was going to say it's not airable.
Oh, no.
That's baseball for you, man.
That is.
The only sport where you can just get so off topic like that. We were just making fun of it the other day.
We were, yeah, with my play-by-play calls where you can talk about literally anything on a baseball broadcast. And what I love is that their play-by-play guy is trying to still do play-by-play in the middle of all this. Yeah,
of course.
And then getting right back into his story. I thought, God, him saying "Light me on fire, baby."
Light me on fire, baby.
How do you continue with that?
No, I love it, man. I hear Riz do it sometimes. You hear Goldie and Gary, Angie, all those. It's part of the game.
It is.
It's the only game where there's an eagle flying out of the sky over there. That's a double by Julio Rodriguez. It's just the transitions are too smooth. You can do it.
I will say the pitch clock era has kind of made announcers have to tighten up their stories a little bit because you don't have as much time in between pitches. So if you're not getting to the point of it, within a good amount of time, you may have to leave, the point of your story on the cutting room floor as you go to break because it just doesn't hit the same coming back from commercial.
Remember what I was saying? No, we don't.
No, actually, no.
I just went and grabbed the soda, so let's start all over. All right, next up, former Mariner Taylor Trammell found himself on the wrong end of an unfortunate blooper on Monday. Trammell was robbed of a home run, but he still rounded the bases as though it went over the fence.
Swing and a fly ball deep right center. Miles Straw sprinting back at the wall, and he's got it. Playing it low-key in center field after taking away extra bases. Trammell is running all the way around.
He has no idea. He's got no idea.
He does not know. He was waiting for a Yainer Diaz high five. That's what we call a loud out.
Wow. Yeah, Trammell had no idea.
Man. Hey, I've never hit a bomb before.
No.
I've never hit a bomb. So I can't imagine what that feeling is, but I have scored a touchdown.
Right.
I could imagine it's like
similar.
Scoring a touchdown, you're celebrating, I'm running back to the sideline, and everyone's looking at me like, yo, they said incomplete. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Like, what?
Right?
What?
The look on his face. I mean, Trammell has it feels like he wears his emotion on his sleeve. So his face said everything.
Well, and you'd think rounding the bases, your base coach would have been like, hey, back to home. Like or back to the dugout. They caught it.
Yeah.
Like
no one told them.
Your third base coach didn't even say anything.
Nobody.
Like when you're rounding second, doesn't your base coach have to be like, hey man, like, hey, don't bother making the turn home.
Yeah.
Like, just go back to the dugout. Like they let him down because your base coaches have to be your eyes and ears as well. He did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he's the one that is going to take the brunt of it because he looks like an idiot.
Was that the third out?
No, I think that was like the second out.
Okay, I was going to say, if it was the third out, then the third base coach is probably walking back to the dugout. That would have been even funnier if it was the third out and coach is walking back to the dugout and Taylor still rounded that thing like he hit a bomb.
Yeah. It's a bummer because Taylor Trammell, very nice guy. When he was a Mariner, he was always very gracious with his time coming on.
He was
on the shows,
yeah.
But just an unfortunate moment. There
unfortunate. I know his boys were lighting him
up.
Oh
yeah,
light him up. All right, let's go around the diamond. The Mariners look to bounce back against the Tigers. Pre-game starts at 5:30. First pitch is at 6:40 on Seattle Sports. That's Around the Diamond, brought to you by Klein Jewelers Edmonds. When we come back to prepare for our 12 o'clock interview with OC Brian Fleury, we're going to break down this offense. That is next here on the Bump Stacy Show. We got Curtis Rogers filling in.
The champs are back.
So great. Weather's awesome. Guys are in good spirits.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports, has your sideline pass every day with Bump and Stacy live from the VMAC from 10 to 2.
We're going to be able to take in practice all week long.
Then Wyman and Bob from 2 o'clock all the way up to Mariners pregame at 6.
Byron Murphy is with us. How are you, man? Putting in the work every day, you know.
The very latest news, insight, and exclusive analysis at seattlesports.com.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here with my buddy Shannon O'Kelly from IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. So much more than just physical and hand therapy, though, Shannon. You guys, holy smokes, do you have a lot of specialty care?
Yeah, Brock, we do. You know, obviously our nuts and bolts is good old musculoskeletal, but we have a lot of therapists that do advanced certifications in specialty care. And that's important because we can treat the whole population. We can treat your neighborhood. We can treat your family. And those specialty services range from neurovestibular care to dry needling, sports medicine, hand therapy, pelvic floor, vestibular rehab, lymphedema, you name it, we have that service. Again, we're about taking care of the whole family and the whole family's needs.
Remember, IRG, they're in your neighborhood. I'm talking over 40 locations and new additions in Wallingford and the WAC as well, that Washington Athletic Club. You can find them in person. You can find it online at irgpt.com. That is irgpt.com.
August is always a time of excitement because football is back. But anyone that watches practice or preseason games knows how much work needs to be done before the season starts. If you're feeling the same about your home project, Harley Exteriors wants to help you get a head start on making sure your home is ready for fall football nights. $500 off each window, $750 off patio and entry doors, and $200 off your final project. Spend a few minutes with the folks at Harley Exteriors during your free estimate, and you'll realize you have a lot in common. They love our local teams, they're good at what they do, and they'll take care of your home. Use Harley Exteriors to complete your home project this month and receive 12 or 18-month promotional financing.
Qualified buyers only. Subject to credit approval and lender terms. Minimum purchase of 4 qualifying windows required. Windows must be 36 by 36 inches or larger. No size minimum on patio or entry doors. Financing subject to approved credit. Offers cannot be combined with other promotions. Offer expires August 31st, 2026.
HarleyExteriors.com.
Here it comes. Possibly the biggest online midsummer auction anywhere of heavy equipment, trucks, tools, lumber, and much more. Presented by the Murphy Auction Company, bidding gets underway at 10 a.m. Thursday, August 6th, and closes at 10 a.m. August 13th. Featured items include a 2020 Bobcat E32i excavator with less than 1,000 hours, a 2016 Freightliner 2100 Hydrovac truck, a 2011 John Deere 310J 4x4 backhoe, and much more. 10 excavators, 4 backhoes, 11 forklifts, 5 boom and scissor lifts, 5 rollers, 28 golf carts, and more than 60 heavy trucks. But wait, there's more. Attachments, roll-off boxes, shipping containers, contractor tools, lumber, and much more all go into the highest bidder. Preview all items August 11th and 12th, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at our location in Marysville, 3803 136th Street Northeast. For pictures, catalogs, and all details, visit murphyauction.com.
If it's blocking your view, keeping your yard dark or shaded, or impossible to mow around, get rid of that tree or stump this summer with P&D Tree Service. They'll do it safely and quickly, cleaning up your yard in the process. P&D Tree turns multi-day jobs into a few hours, saving you time and money. One tree or land clearing, they have the tools and expertise for the job. They specialize in large tree removal. Ever seen a tree removed by crane? PndTreeService.com.
Listen every day to the Bump and Stacy Show for headline rewrites. Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services. Security systems and fire alarms for every business. Bay Alarm, we got you.
Progressive knows you've got plenty of things to worry about.
What time does the kids' practice end? How long has that check engine light been on? Are takeout containers microwave safe?
So the last thing you should have to worry about is what to do if something unexpected happens on the road. That's why if you're ever in a major accident, Progressive's accident response can detect it and send help. It's just one less thing to worry about.
How long does chicken last in the fridge?
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Limited availability in California. Driver is responsible for emergency and towing charges not covered by the policy.
Wait, everything on this IHOP value menu is just $6?
I told you it was amazing. A huge plate of pancakes, bacon, and eggs is just $6.
Wow.
There's also French toast, a ham and cheese omelet, and oh, they got a BLT and fries now.
Okay, we're coming here every day.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Feast for just $6 with the IHOP value menu. $7 in some locations, available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $3 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
In preparation for our conversation with offensive coordinator Brian Fleury, we're going to talk about this offense as a whole, right? He's replacing Kubiak. Kubiak was a guy that I think people were a bit skeptical of what he was going to be able to do. First 2 games in New Orleans when he was the OC over there, they looked great, and then they kind of fell off. But a lot of injuries and stuff happened, so, that's the game. So he comes over here. In that very first week, Curtis, there wasn't hardly any play action, not really under center. Yeah. I'm like, this kind of reminds me of last year. But then he found his footing, got into his groove. This offense struggled to run the football. Still high when it comes to attempts. As the season goes along, JSN emerges. You got the run game that got going, and everything felt great. So now Brian has to come over and fill these shoes. He's been with the 49ers for 7 seasons. He's learned under Shanahan. I'm confident he knows what to do, but you just never know until you're out there getting it done. Everything that we've heard about Brian Fleury from the players has been super positive. What are your expectations from this offense?
My expectations are hopefully more of the same of what we saw a year ago. Now, there was a quote from McDonald a couple days ago where he said, if Fleury is trying to do the same things that Kubiak was doing here, then we're in trouble because that's not what we want to do. We don't want to be a carbon copy of what we saw a year ago. We want to have some diversity in what we're calling this year. And I think that's going to be a big thing for Fleury is to see how he can put his impression on this Seahawks offense. What's interesting is that this is for the 3rd time in their last 4 offensive coordinator hires, they've gone with a first-time guy at OC at least at the NFL level. I know Ryan Grubb had done it at the collegiate level, but Shane Waldron had never been an OC before. He was a Rams tight end coach, I believe. Came over here, was here, I think, 3 seasons, and then Grubb was here for a year. Kubiak was the only one with previous coordinating experience, and then obviously had the year that he had and was able to translate that into the Raiders head coaching job. So for Fleury, I think it helps that, he's working with a quarterback that is familiar with what he wants to do offensively. When it was Geno Smith here with Ryan Grubb and Geno Smith here with Shane Waldron, it did kind of feel like, neither coordinator had previous experience with the quarterback here.
Right.
And it just kind of felt like an awkward fit. Whereas Kubiak last year had experience with Darnold in San Francisco. And then again, Fleury repeating that same thing. Kubiak and Fleury were on the same coaching staff in San Francisco. Now you have that again. I'm hoping that it's just kind of more of the same in terms of results. Maybe not necessarily same in how they get there. But ultimately, I trust Mike Macdonald in the hire that he's making. In the hire that he's made, I should say, because Brian Fleury's here. He'll be with us in less than 10 minutes. But, I think ultimately, the Seahawks offense has enough talent here already to where you just kind of need somebody to just press the right buttons, get everything going in the right direction.
Yeah, and it's when I'm out here, I'm looking to see what this offense is going to look like. And in training camp, it's tough because there's install days, right? Every day there's a new install. It's not like they're game planning for who's the first game of the week? The Patriots. Not like they're game planning for the Patriots. They're out there inserting their stuff. And I see a lot of the stuff that we saw last year, but I also see more movement pre-snap. And I think that's crucial for an offense. The pre-snap movement makes the defense declare what they're in, and it forces them to communicate. Right, and as offensive guys, that's all we're trying to do is make them second guess or be one shade over in the wrong spot, and force them to think. And that's what I've seen so far. My favorite thing I've seen so far is just the use of the tight ends. Mm-hmm. I think that's going to be great. I think you have an opportunity to have one of the best tight end rooms in the NFL if Arroyo can step up and be something that we think he can. AJ's obviously heading in the right direction. Saubert is the blue-collar guy. Is there a part of the offense that you would like to see enhanced or kind of like rinse and repeat it?
I would love to see a number 2 receiver emerge where the responsibility isn't necessarily as much on JSN's shoulders as it was a year ago, where, JSN's yardage total was more than like darn near every receiver else combined on the team. I think he had almost 1,800 yards, and the next highest receiver on the team was Cooper Kupp with like 590 something, I want to say. So ultimately, like getting Rashid Shaheed more involved in the offense, that would be something I would love to see them do this year, especially because of the investment made in him, not just in what you gave up to get him last year, but also giving him the contract on top of that. Like, you're going to need him to perform. I think you're probably going to need him in order to feel comfortable about the contract you gave him. You're probably going to need him to be your number 2 receiver by the end of the season, which I think he's more than capable of. And I'm glad that he's got a full off season here. And we'll ask Brian Fleury just, how he's going to incorporate Rashid Shaheed into the offense, maybe more so than they were able to at the midpoint of last season. But that's what I want to see from this offense this season, Bump, is somebody really take the reins of that number 2 receiver job, because JSN's your number 1 guy, with no doubt about that. But somebody else, and maybe it's Cooper Kupp, who knows? But somebody's got to kind of, take charge and say, like, all right, I'm going to take some weight off the shoulders of JSN here.
What's kind of cool too, if I'm a guy on offense with a new offensive coordinator, is he has fresh eyes on you. There comes a point in the season where you kind of pigeonhole a guy like, all right, this is what he is, this is who he is, this is what he can and can't do, and you keep him in that box. I think with a new coordinator, all these guys starting off fresh. I mean, unless you're JSN, AJ Barnes, like the main guys, if you're a 2 or a 3, you have an opportunity to show a skill set that might get you on the football field, and you got to take advantage of this opportunity. So fresh eyes, I think, could always be beneficial when it comes to like the guys trying to make the squad to just be relevant.
Yeah. I also kind of wonder with Fleury and his experience in San Francisco, where they use Debo not just as a receiver, but also as a running option. If Rashid Shaheed is going to be more of that kind of receiver this year, where you use him in a lot of different ways, you use him out of the backfield. We did see him get used out of the backfield a little bit last year, but I mean, there are a lot of options you can have with him and what he brings to the table. So, just kind of wanting to see if maybe the Seahawks will consider Shaheed in multiple facets, not just as a receiving threat, not just as a deep ball threat, but in a different way.
I definitely saw a practice or two where he was being used in a different way. So, you got arguably the fastest player in the NFL on your squad.
I saw he was only like a 95 speed on Madden.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, are these people watching the same Rashid Shaheed that I watched?
Now I got to look and see who's a 99 speed. Like, who do they have in front of him?
I know Jahmyr Gibbs was like a 98, which I'll give him that.
Yeah.
He's pretty amazing.
You know what it is Shaheed has that, like, after 30-yard speed. He has that track speed.
Yeah.
I think Gibbs has that initial burst.
I think Xavier Worthy was the fastest.
Yeah, that makes sense, though. He ran, 4.2?
Something like that.
Yeah, all right. That class, that makes sense. But, you got to find multiple ways to use those guys. How are you going to use JSN? AJ Barney, you know what? We might even get to some of your questions. If you have questions for a head coach, the OC, Brian Fleury, text him in. What's our number again, Curtis?
866-979-3776.
Boom, perfect wingman. All right, when we come back, we'll talk to the OC. That's next on the Bump Stacy Show.
One of his most introspective interviews.
My dad left at 10 and my mom got food since at 12.
Alex Rodriguez, exclusively with Brock and Salk.
What do you say to those that go, well, A-Rod, you told us that it wouldn't be about the money?
If you guys are up for free agency and you're 24 years old and one offers you X and the other one offers you $150 million more, where would you guys go? You have to do it.
Get all of this can't miss conversation on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Do you have a special occasion or milestone to commemorate? Come discover Klein Jewelers in charming downtown Edmonds. As a locally owned family jeweler, we combine an impressively large selection with the warm personal service only a hometown jeweler can provide. Whether you're searching for the perfect engagement ring or a beautiful piece of diamond or gemstone jewelry, you'll find plenty to love and no pressure along the way. From life's biggest milestones to those just because moments. Klein Jewelers by the Fountain in downtown Edmonds. You're a jeweler for life.
Seattle summers are sneaky, so when the heat wave hits, it hits like I used to. Dave Wyman here. Fast Home Services has you covered with an AC tune-up for just $59.99. First-time customers get the $99 diagnostic for free. Heating and cooling done right by the local team since 1986. Call 1-800-THINK-FAST to book your free in-home estimate. Or visit fasthomeservices.com for a virtual quote in seconds for water heaters, plumbing, HVAC, and electrical services.
Guys, I'll never forget the first time I saw somebody get results at our clinic. He was an 81-year-old man who hadn't been intimate with his wife in over 8 years. Viagra had stopped working for him, and he was desperate for help. After several treatments, he walked into my office and told me he couldn't believe the results. Needless to say, this was a very happy man. This man made me a believer in what we do. He had taken pills for years, but he had never fixed the problem. When he came to us, we fixed the problem. Our treatment does what no pill can do. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. Change your life today, like the thousands of men who already have.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Need a heavy lift? Levitt Machinery is now your Taylor lift equipment dealer in Washington and Oregon. Engineered for extreme duty durability. Taylors are designed for demanding environments with uptime built into every machine. When the work is tough, Taylor delivers. And now backed by Levitt Machinery in the Pacific Northwest. LevittMachinery.com. Give us a call today. Stack it, reach it, lift it, Levitt.
Keep summer outside where it belongs. Save $588 on every window and $1,088 on every door, plus free heat deflecting glass. Claim your free quote today, plus 12 months no payments. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
If the customer wants to be met in Seattle, then let's get that car from Kirkland to Seattle so that customer can come in there and transact.
Lee Johnson Auto Fair.
Wait, everything on this IHOP value menu is just $6?
I told you it was amazing. A huge plate of pancakes, bacon, and eggs is just $6.
Wow.
There's also French toast, a ham and cheese omelet, and oh, they got a BLT and fries now.
Okay, we're coming here every day.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Feast for just $6 with the IHOP value menu. $7 in some locations, available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Here it comes. Possibly the biggest online midsummer auction anywhere of heavy equipment, trucks, tools, lumber, and much more. Presented by the Murphy Auction Company, bidding gets underway at 10 a.m. Thursday, August 6th, and closes at 10 a.m. August 13th. Featured items include a 2020 Bobcat E32i excavator with less than 1,000 hours, a 2016 Freightliner 2100 Hydrovac truck, a 2011 John Deere 310J 4x4 backhoe, and much more. 10 excavators, 4 backhoes, 11 forklifts, 5 boom and scissor lifts, 5 rollers, 28 golf carts, and more than 60 heavy trucks. But wait, there's more. Attachments, roll-off boxes, shipping containers, contractor tools, lumber, and much more all go into the highest bidder. Preview all items August 11th and 12th, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at our location in Marysville, 3803 136th Street Northeast. For pictures, catalogs, and all details, visit murphyauction.com.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Not the debut we were hoping for from the Mariners after the trade deadline. The M's fell to the Tigers 8-0. They try again tonight at 6:40. Woo's on the mound. Hard Knocks premiered last night and has gotten some great reaction. The Northwest definitely represented. And the Storm take on the Liberty today at 4 p.m.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
We are live at the Virginia Mason Athletics Center. Curtis in for Stacy Ross and Michael Bumpus. We're joined now by OC Brian Fleury. How you doing, Coach? Hook him up. There it is.
There we go.
There we go.
Good stuff. Good stuff, man. I was thinking about like my first doing anything, right? Like my first football game as a player, like as a coach, first time being a dad. And I was like, what was your feeling like? First time walking out to the practice field, and like, all right, I'm the OC. Let's get this thing going.
I mean, obviously, it was pretty exciting. It's something I've thought about for a long time, visualized that exact moment many times in my head. And so to have it come to fruition was really, really cool.
Coach, I got to first start off by complimenting your haircut and beard combo. I think more of us should go with the buzz cut and beard. I just got to say that. Yeah.
That.
I want to get your perspective on coaching against this defense from your time with San Francisco and now getting to see it up close and in person. Was there anything that maybe you've picked up on in your time as OC here that you were kind of like, oh, wow, like that's mind-blowing. Yeah,
it's generally miserable. I'm happy that we actually got the ball in the end zone a couple times in practice as opposed to those last two games with the Niners there. But it's definitely, I mean, obviously I've admired from afar for the last 2 years with what Mike's doing here and even having played against him in Baltimore. So it's nice to get out here. It's a great challenge, honestly, for me as a first-time play caller and, designing plays just to deal with it. I mean, it's one of the hardest defenses in the league to go against, and so it's a great measuring stick for us.
As a receiver, I played in an era where everything was spread out. Shotgun, spread out, 3x1, 2x2, empty, all that stuff. And over the years, the game has kind of tightened back up, especially in this division, right? With obviously what you're doing, the Niners, the Rams. And as I get older, I appreciate that more than spreading it out. What do you think the advantage is of kind of compacting the game a bit when it comes to calling plays?
It's just different ways to create space. Bringing the receivers in kind of matches with what their blocking responsibilities would be in the run game. If you want to spread them out and you're running the ball, it's more like RPOs, creating horizontal pass conflicts. Guys have to fit an inside gap, and the receivers are out wide, so they can't cover him and fit the gap. You bring them in close, and it creates more vertical run-pass conflicts, so they have to fit their gap. Receivers act like they're going to block them, then get more depth, and it's just a different way to like create conflicts for the defense, honestly.
I love it.
Coach, how much of the offense is left to install at this portion of camp?
We got most of the foundation in. You know, the offense is built around core concepts that you can present to the defense in a variety of ways with different personnel groups, formation, shifts, motions. So the core concepts are in, and it creates consistency for the players. Like, they're going to rep the same blocking combination on 10 different play calls a bunch of different times. And so it's more about fundamentals. We can dress everything up 100 different ways, and you don't have to do all that right now. As long as you're working the combinations and the techniques and the fundamentals that you need to on a daily basis, then you can build the fluff later.
How crazy is it that your first OC gig, you got Hard Knocks following you around? Like,
yeah,
I mean, that's different, right?
It is different. It definitely having the cameras around took a few days to get used to, but then I've kind of forgotten that they're there, honestly, and we have far more interesting people in the building than me for them to focus on, so it really hasn't been a disruption at all.
Well, one thing we saw in last night's episode, I don't know if you watched or not, but
no,
Cooper Kupp, it feels like his influence is felt everywhere on the offensive side of the ball, where he's just kind of in everybody's ear, just sharing his insight and his knowledge. What's it like as an OC having somebody with, the amount or the length of career he's had? He's accomplished everything there is to accomplish, and just kind of essentially being like an extension of the coaching staff amongst the wide receiver room.
Right, and so there's certain players you come across, it's been my case in 14 years now, where there's been a number of them that eventually earn the right to have ownership of what you're doing, and he's in that category, Sam's in that category, and they've been around so much good football and have such a great perspective that, it gives them the opportunity to have a collaboration, if you will, on like how things are going to go. And deservingly so. I mean, he's a great football player with a great football mind, and so having those people in the building is an asset to everybody.
So you and Sam go back to the 49er days, and his path to where he is now has been so interesting, right? A lot of times QBs go through what he's been through, and they're just a backup for the rest of their career. He's found a way to kind of not reinvent himself, but put himself out there. How different is he from the time you spent with him with the 49ers to where he is now?
I mean, he's obviously the same person, and he's got the same talents. He's always been very talented, and I think he's just kind of grown in wisdom and experience, and just in taking a different approach to how he wants to, take his game to the next level. I saw a lot of growth in the year that we spent with him, and then to see him take that growth and expand upon it in Minnesota with the opportunity to play in a lot of games that he didn't really get with us was really cool. And then to see that again transfer into what he did last year, it's just been awesome. I'm really, really happy for him. And I said to you last time we talked that I just love his grit, and I love the way he's fought through that and like reinvented himself. And I'm thrilled to be working with him again.
In San Francisco, you were tight ends coach, and I think it was either your introductory press conference or in your interview with Bump Stacy, you had mentioned how the tight ends room here had really appealed to you. How much or how fun has it been to kind of work with those guys, especially A.J. Barner entering year 3, expecting big things from him. Elijah Arroyo, another young player. What's in store for those guys this year?
I mean, we're still figuring that out, and the fun thing about them is they are still relatively young, all of them, and so they have strengths, and we're going to continue to expand upon those strengths, but we're going to see if we can help them grow in other areas too, and it's going to be fun to see the combination of them and how we can use their skill sets and to create an offense that fits everybody.
I don't know if you know this, but some fans think if you're not an elite top 5 quarterback, then you are just not good. And I'm like, listen, there's levels to this, and it seems like the system that you run and that other people run allows that not top 5 quarterback to excel. What is it about the system that allows a guy who isn't considered the elite of the elite to play that way?
Yeah, so I don't think it's any secret. I think one of the hardest things to do in sports is to be a quarterback in an obvious drop back situation where the defense knows you're throwing the ball, everybody in the stadium knows you're throwing the ball, and to drop back and stand in the pocket and distribute the ball effectively. It's just incredibly hard. So the thought process behind the offense is to minimize the amount of times we're asking any quarterback to do that. And it's, screens, it's misdirections, it's play actions, moving the pocket, like all those sorts of things that just kind of take a little bit of the load off of the quarterback, allow him to play a brand of football that's a little bit lower risk and higher reward. And then when they are asked to do that, the percentages are a little bit more in your favor. So that's really what it is.
Jadarian Price, his first training camp, what have you noticed from him? How's it been getting him caught up to speed here to the NFL game?
He is a rookie, and you can see that he's definitely talented. We're excited about the options and the possibilities of him growing into this offense, and he is approaching it the best possible way. His focus and attention to detail and his willingness to learn and get better is as good as any rookie I've been around. So I'm anticipating that he'll grow quickly, and then we'll be evaluating constantly how much he can handle and what that workload is going to look like as we go.
Now, culture is a word that's thrown around a lot. I think that winning teams have a great culture. I'm sure you would agree. You've been around winning teams before. What is it about this culture that was appealing to you?
Obviously there was a lot of stability here for a long time in terms of leadership with John, and I know the ownership is turning over here, but it just seems like, there's just no noise. You know what I mean? They do a really great job of limiting the amount of noise that makes it into the building. And then Mike, with his messaging, is just fantastic. I'm just been really impressed with our conversations about not only football, but just leadership and communication within the building, and just making sure there's alignment from top to bottom. It's been awesome.
I thought you had a really funny line yesterday talking about Coach McDonald putting you in your offense in adverse situations where you're like, who's burning all these timeouts? Yeah. But I want to know from you, just kind of what is your experience going from a position coach in those moments in a game to now OC, where you're the guy getting the call in? How much experience have you had kind of in those spots as a position coach compared to now with an OC?
So probably more than I would say normal. My role in San Francisco was obviously like designing run plays and then collaborating on the game plan. And a lot of times there was, 3 or 4 of us that were constantly suggesting plays in the moment. And so I've been thinking that way for a long time. Now having to verbalize it and actually like push the button and interact with the quarterback, that's, being aware of the play clock and all that time. That's the only added new element. The thought process has always been there. Just the actual execution of it in real time.
You a field guy or a booth guy?
I was just going to ask.
Yeah, so I when I did the introductory press conference, I said I want to do one each, one up and one down, and then make the final decision for the third game. I'm going to stick by that, but I do think I'll ultimately end up being on the field. It's just there's something about face-to-face communication with everybody, and when you're thinking about what you want to do next, you're previewing plays or even making changes to the game plan. It's just something about looking people in the eye and being able to make sure that you're not adding a layer of communication, me through the position coach to the player or on the phone to the player. It's just, I'd rather eliminate that element.
I don't have a football playing background, but I've always wondered just kind of what are the advantages to calling plays from the booth. I know you do get sort of the all-22 view, but is there any other advantage that maybe we're not picking up on just watching the game at home?
It just takes the emotion out of it, which can be beneficial. If you're trying to approach it from a more cerebral point of view, it takes the crowd noise, the excitement, the emotion of the players running on and off the field and getting fired up for plays. It just takes all that out of it. So if that's a distraction to you, it's better to call it in the booth because it just allows you to focus on the task at hand.
See, I call plays at a lower level, at high school level, and I prefer to be in the booth, but I didn't trust my coaches, man. I got to be down there looking at my quarterback, and for the same reasons, feeling the emotion. You can tell if a guy's ready to go or if he's not ready to go.
And
I think that's important.
I do have the experience. It was a long time ago when I was coaching in FCS football and I was a defensive coordinator. I did both back then, and so had both experiences, and that's what I agreed with you. I wanted to do it from the field early on, because I hadn't had the experience with those coaches for very long and felt like I needed to communicate with everybody. And then I went up to the booth once we had worked together for a while, and I just knew we were all on the same page, and they were gonna communicate everything the way I wanted to. And so, that's not the situation here, but it's just, I agree with what you're saying.
How is that running back room shaping up? I know we talked a little bit about Jadarian, but you've also got George Halani stepping into a bigger role this season. Still kind of waiting word on Zach Charbonnet's health. You've also got Emmanuel Wilson. How's that room shaping up?
They've all got different skill sets, and it's been fun to see them kind of, work through different plays, and there's a learning process that's going on. I'm trying to figure out what they're all best at and then deploy them appropriately so that they can take advantage of those strengths. So, I mean, there's a potential for it to be a little bit of a committee type of situation, but I think we've only had 3 or 4 days in pads, and that's where running backs really kind of show me what they're working with. And so, like, I think we got a lot of time before we're making those decisions.
How's the family, the transition up to the Northwest? How's that going?
It's going great. School doesn't start for a while, so they're here kind of just taking in the sights and sightseeing, getting to know the area while they can. My daughter's in driving school right now, so everybody watch out there. Where anytime I'm off, she's like, "Hey, can we go driving?" I'm like, "Sure. I'm not tired or anything. Let's just go drive."
How many moves has your family made? Because I know the life of a coach in football, you're packing and unpacking every few years.
Yeah, so it's this was the 9th move for my wife and I, 7th for my daughter, I think. Yeah, wow. So it's been a bunch, but we get used to it. You know, we got the routine now down. It's like it's as seamless as you can imagine it could possibly be.
I know football coaches are just maniacs. They laugh at me because I watch film for days. I can imagine what you guys are doing.
We do make fun of him. In commercial breaks, he'll just bring up film on his iPad. I'm like, dude.
My favorite thing to do is to watch film. Yeah. But what do you do when you're not watching film? You're a golfer? You're a hooper?
No, all those things that require time to be good at, like I just chalk it up. I like music. I like to play the guitar and spending time with my family as much as I possibly can. Those, she's 15 now, so we only got 3 more years with her in the house. She's our only one, so I'm just trying to soak up all that time while I can.
Did you have to do any sort of rookie initiation like they do with the players, like a talent show or anything? Is this your first time as an OC?
Yeah, not yet, but there's whispers that could be forthcoming. So.
Well, I mean, at least you've got your guitar talent.
Yeah.
You can whip that out.
At least Hard Knocks isn't here or anything.
Yeah, yeah. There's not HBO cameras everywhere.
Right.
You might have to foot the bill to take it to a restaurant or something. That's typically what they do. Hey, man, we appreciate you taking time. I know it's crazy. It's busy out here. I love your demeanor, how you do things out there, and I wish you the best of luck, man.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah.
OC, Brian Fleury, appreciate you, man. All right, that was your OC, Brian Fleury. Bless you with some knowledge, taking some time to hang out with us. And, that man's busy, so we're fortunate to have him out here with us. Anything stick out to you real quick on that conversation?
Well, yeah, I mean, lots sticking out from that conversation. I really wanted to know if he was going to be on the field or in the booth. Yeah. When you asked that, I was like, oh, dang it. Like, that was going to be my next question. And I do like that he is strongly considering doing it from the field. I think that's a good spot to be in. And, like you can get in the ear of your quarterback right there. Everybody is face to face. I think that's the good spot to be in.
At the high school level, I've had players convince me to run plays before because I believe I'm like, Coach, I got him. I can beat him here. I'm like, let's do it.
Okay.
All right, come on. Let's get it. You better catch this thing, though, Bobby. You better catch this thing. All right, man. That was our time with OC Brian Fleury. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
The Mariners were shut out 8-0 in the debuts of Taylor Ward and Sir Anthony Dominguez. What's the real headline?
Real headline, I can't think of a more fitting welcome. Welcome to Mariners baseball. It doesn't get much easier, boys.
Unfortunately, it was unfortunately I forgot how to say this. It felt right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it felt
like,
right.
This is how it goes.
At least just get this out the way. Feel this pain, and then we can build on that. Not a great day, 8-0. We were talking before the show. When it gets to like 3 or 4, we're kind of like, here we go.
I will say the way the Mariners fell down yesterday, it did allow for me to get my Hard Knocks viewing in earlier than I had anticipated, so I wasn't up as late as I thought I was going to be. But now I don't have that escape to go if things go right tonight. Hopefully they don't. Brian Wu, we talked to Jordan Shusterman last hour. Brian Wu's been fantastic at home this year. Hopefully more of that continues here heading into tonight. But, yeah, they need this one bad. They need all these games really bad, especially because you can't afford to lose any ground. I mean, look, you're the only team in the AL West that actually is, like, going for it. Everybody else, even the teams ahead of you, are kind of like, nah, it's too rich for my blood. I don't want to be a buyer here in this market. But no, you you have planted your flag as a buyer, go out and pay that off.
I was listening to Brock and Salk this morning. I think Brock said for them to get 90 wins, they got to go like 30-something and 13 to get there this year. But the good thing is they might not need to get to 90 wins to make the playoffs and win the division.
84 wins, 85 wins might get it done.
So just let's get it right today, huh? Let's do that.
Headline rewrites.
The Mariners released Mitch Garver and Rob Refsnyder yesterday. What's the real headline?
Real headline, are we sure we want the Mariners to be more active in free agency? Are we sure in our heart of hearts that we want them to go dabble in free agency as much as we want them to? Because it feels like, Bump, every offseason move that they make kind of blows up in their face, whereas every in-season move typically has worked out.
Yeah, hasn't been great. But
no,
you know what?
Not.
I'm keeping hope alive. I am waking up every morning grateful.
Yes.
And hoping that they just get hot here. But no, it's crazy how organizations and presidents, general managers, whatever, like they have their lane, they have their tendencies, and it's hard to deny it. Like you have 7 to 8 years of experience in this organization with this leadership, and the same things keep happening. You're like, all right, what can we do to switch things up and change it?
Yeah, it's maybe go after guys who are not in their mid-30s. I say this as somebody in his mid-30s. We only have so much shelf life left before we expire.
Headline rewrites.
The Dodgers lost to the Cubs in Tarek Skubal's LA debut. What's the real headline?
Real headline, what a bum.
Bum.
I thought you were supposed to help him. He actually didn't pitch all that bad.
Nah.
Two runs allowed in 6 innings. That's normally a winning formula, especially for a team like the Dodgers, where you don't even have to be like the best pitcher. You can be, half of that, and you're going to have a winning record.
You're typically going to get some run support.
Yeah.
There's going to be some bombs hit. But no, his debut wasn't what he wanted as a team, but individually, I think he looked all right.
I will say, of all the outcomes of a Tarek Skubal trade, I know people are still hopping mad that he ended up on the Dodgers, and like every other baseball team could have prevented that if they had simply met the Tigers' asking price. But for those of us who do root for an American League team here in Seattle, like that was the best possible outcome because you're not going to have to face Skubal until the World Series at the earliest. You don't face the Dodgers again this season. Like, I get that it is a bummer that Tarek Skubal is not, he's a Seattle U product. Like, that would have been really cool to have sort of a homecoming for him. But, like, of all the possibilities, this one is nowhere near the worst as when it comes to being a Mariners fan. It's maybe the worst if you're a Braves fan or a Phillies fan or a Cubs fan or a Brewers fan because you're going to have to go through the Dodgers in order to get to the World Series. Like, that's just how it's going to be. But for those of us in the American League, bye.
Bye, Felicia.
Yeah, can I pack your bags?
What do you think the chances are if you had to have Curtis Rogers odds of the Dodgers making it to the World Series?
I think it's very high that they make it to the World Series. It's funny because last year everybody looked at that team and said, like, oh, could they challenge the Mariners' record of 116 wins in the regular season? They didn't come close to that, actually. This year's team also not coming close to that, even though they're the best team in baseball. I think they've already lost close to 46 games, which was the total losses the Mariners had in 2001. I know, that's insane. But this Dodgers team, I think, is far and away the best team in baseball. There is a lot stiffer competition, though, in the National League. The Braves are really good. The Brewers are really good. The Phillies have played a lot better as of the last couple months, especially changing managers with Don Mattingly now taking over that job. But, yeah, I think the Dodgers are very much in play for a three-peat. They won the World Series last year and then added Kyle Tucker, Edwin Diaz, and Tarek Skubal.
Come on.
Come on. How?
Come on.
Houseway.
No, I agree. We shall see. I can't talk
You reluctantly agree, I know.
I agree.
I appreciate your Dodger fandom more than anybody else's Dodger fandom, Bump, because you actually grew up there. You were there for like the Eric Karros days, the Todd Hollandsworth, Raul Mondesi era teams. Like, you were there for those guys.
Yeah.
Sitting in the bleachers. Hideo Nomo.
Hideo. I used to, in Little League, I tried to pitch like Hideo. Coach was like, stop.
Only he can do that.
I'm like, Hideo does that?
That reminds me of that Patrick Ewing clip. What are you doing shooting that shot? You've never shot that shot before.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be like my idol, Nomo. All right. Enough of that nonsense Dodger talk, all right? More to do on the Bump Stacy Show. We got Curtis Rogers filling in. When we come back, we're going to NFL headlines. Stephon Diggs found himself a new home. You got Bijan Robinson getting paid. And let's check in on our guy, Cam Moore, that's coming up next on the Bump Stacy Show.
Jeff Passan, every Tuesday morning at 8:30 with Brock and Salk.
The Mariners, 2 moves at the deadline. How did they do?
I actually think they did really well. The Luis Castillo trade killed 2 birds with 1 stone, but got them a prospect back. Like, Boston Smith can play. Then going and getting Taylor Ward, we had talked about him and identified him as the perfect guy for the Mariners to go out and get. A right-handed hitting outfielder.
Get more on the Seattle Sports YouTube page and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Mike Salk here for Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. And not all getaways are going to earn 4 diamonds, but you can experience the 4 Diamond Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, where the breathtaking views, elevated dining, and world-class gaming and entertainment make the perfect escape. Also, check out upcoming shows. You got 80s pop sensation Taylor Dane on September 6th, or local rock legends Queensryche on October 10th. Tickets at snocasino.com. You can elevate your next getaway. That's 4 Diamond and Seattle's closest Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Please game responsibly.
A Wilt Chamberlain 1972 playoff game-worn jacket was recently bought for $3 at a Goodwill in Portland. You may not be sitting on a warm-up jacket worn by Wilt the Stilt, but there's serious value to your old gold, jewelry, watches, silver, and coins. Dave Wyman encouraging you to see what they're worth at Bellevue Rare Coins in Bellevue, Issaquah, Tacoma, and Linwood. They'll give you an honest, no-pressure assessment for free. See how much they're worth at Bellevue Rare Coins, and if the price is right, cash in.
Pests and poor installation have something in common. One call to Eastside Exterminators takes care of both. For more than 50 years, families across Western Washington have trusted Eastside Exterminators to eliminate pests for good and protect homes from crawl space to attic. With dedicated installation services and the state's only smart pest detection technology. From Everett to Federal Way, one call handles it all. 425-482-2271 or visit eastsideexterminators.com. Eastside Exterminators, family first pest control.
Progressive's Home Quote Explorer helps you easily find and buy the right coverage for you. It's everything you've always wanted. Well, I mean, as far as a website that lets you shop, quote, and buy insurance in one place. But hey, maybe that is everything you've always wanted. Yeah, people have different types of dreams. And if all you've ever been searching for is a website that helps you choose home insurance rates and coverage, boy, do we have great news about Progressive's Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run.
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends over there at People Come First Construction Group. You know I love my acronyms, PCF. They designed and built our outdoor living space for Molly and I, and we just loved it. And right now, PCF is making it easier than ever to get started on your new dream deck with 50% off your custom professional design and architectural drawing package. That means you can save over $9,000 on your project. And with 12 months of no interest, no payment financing, you can design your deck now and pay later. You know, most people who start with a design package end up with the exact outdoor space they've always wanted and dreamed of. This offer is your first step. Do what we did and contact PCF Construction Group today. Get your project ideas, browse amazing photos, and find all the offer details at PCFgroup.com. That's PCFgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space your favorite place. With People Come First.
Hey, baseball fans, Rick Riz here. I'm excited to introduce you to my good friend Keith Dashafy, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Keith?
Thanks, Rick. At Pella Windows and Doors, we pride ourselves on delivering top-quality windows and doors that enhance the beauty and energy efficiency of your home. Our products are built to last with innovative designs and exceptional craftsmanship. Whether you're looking to upgrade your windows or install new doors, Pella has you covered.
That's fantastic, Keith. Don't wait. Schedule your free appointment today at PellaPNW.com.
Feeling lucky? Don't miss the Lucky Fall Classic Collector Car Truck and Boat Auction, Saturday, August 29th at Tacoma's LeMay Marymount Event Center. Up to 200 collector, vintage, and classic vehicles, many going to the highest lucky bidder with absolutely no reserve. Get lucky, get local, and get in line. Visit LuckyOldCar.com for a list and pictures of auction vehicles. Or call 206-467-6531 for bidding and consignment details.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Crowd is filling in here at the Virginia Mason Athletic Center. The burn is being filled up by patrons ready to watch the Seahawks do what they do. But right now it's time for an NFL headline. Let's get into it. Stephon Diggs has a new home. The free agent receiver will be signing with the Commanders on a one-year deal worth $12 million. He's still worth 12.
Apparently, even after all the off-the-field stuff that he's had going on with whatever that pink substance was on the boat last year, his personal chef, all that stuff going on too.
Yeah,
still got $12 million. I wonder, what does this mean for Brandon Ayuk's future? Because he was aiming towards Washington and the Commanders. It would stand to reason that Stephon Diggs signing with Washington maybe takes away that roster spot.
This just tells you how off they think Brandon Ayuk is. That instead of going there, a younger receiver, you're going to go with a guy who has had drama with the chef, drama on a boat, drama with his ex.
Baby mama drama.
But when he's on the football field, from what I've heard, he's a great teammate. In the locker room, he's a great teammate. So that means a lot.
He had a big year last year with the Patriots, but I do think the off-the-field stuff is what has kept him out of anybody's camp to this point. I think it's probably worth it for the Commanders to sign him to just a one-year deal, give Terry McLaurin some help in that wide receiver room, give Jaden Daniels another target to throw to. Low risk. I just kind of wonder maybe why the Commanders haven't necessarily invested in a young receiver yet with Jaden Daniels. That seems to be what you do after you find the franchise quarterback,
right?
Is go out and get him a young receiver like what the Bengals did with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. But, I mean, for what was available out there, Diggs probably is going to be the most productive option.
Hey, and he moved to the slot, and that is perfect for him. Like, moving to the slot is like when your starter doesn't have the arm anymore on the mound, so you move to the bullpen. Like, that's where the old guys go. Go to the slot and extend your career a little bit. All right, next up we got Bijan Robinson signed a huge deal on Tuesday. So which running back will be the next one to reset the market? Colts star Jonathan Taylor took notice of the deal. Atlanta gave Bijan cut 15.
I got to go talk to my agent, too. I got to go talk to him and see where things are at. I've been trying to just focus on getting better, making sure I'm staying in shape. So like I said, I have faith, so I'm going to tap in and check in when I'm not. You guys broke the news to me.
Curtis, if your contract was public and you were getting 20 more thousand than me, I'm going to my agent too and be like, hey, my guy getting 20 more, let me get some.
Like, congrats to him, but yeah, everybody's got to eat, right?
Yeah.
I think Jonathan Taylor, definitely worth a top running back salary for sure. He's put together a really nice career for himself in Indianapolis. Jahmyr Gibbs also stands to make a lot of money. I mean, you look at these running back salaries going up and up and up, and you do it does kind of match their importance to an NFL offense. About, I would say, like 7 or 8 years ago, there was that conversation, like, do running backs matter as much as they do anymore? Like, you can find a running back anywhere, but, like, I don't know. When that summer Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry signed with Philadelphia and Baltimore respectively, and then both had 2,000-yard seasons the very next season, it was kind of like, oh, wait, those kinds of running backs, the franchise-changing ones like Bijan Robinson, like, yeah, I think those guys are definitely deserving of the money that they're getting, because very rarely do those guys come around anymore. You see, we just heard from Brian Fleury a moment ago on the show that they're kind of planning a running back by committee thing right now. That's usually how it is across the NFL. You don't see these guys rack up, 300 some odd carries, but I mean, the ones that are being paid top of the market money, I think they're very deserving of it.
There's about 4 or 5 running backs who get it like that.
Yeah.
Henry, Gibbs, Bijan, Taylor,
Saquon,
and maybe it's not Etienne anymore. It's Etienne.
Yeah. He's in New Orleans.
Yeah, New Orleans. That's an interesting team too. I'm going to look at. They just signed Olave to a big deal.
Wow.
You got your boy.
Later on in this segment, we will hear somebody with some praise for them.
Some love. Oh, I see where we're going. All right, next up, how is Cam Ward coming along in his second training camp? New Titan offensive coordinator Brian Daboll shared what he's seeing from the former number 1 pick, cut 16.
I get here pretty early every day, and most of the time he is in the team room sitting there watching tape with maybe a couple other guys that he pulls along. So I think that shows his teammates that he's very serious about football, which he is. They're in with the huddle in the film sessions. He shows that he's a competitor. I think the players, the job of a quarterback is to earn the respect of your team, earn the respect of your coaches, earn the respect of the players, earn the respect of the fans. And that's what you sign up for when you play quarterback in this league. And he's been, again, I've said this since I've been back here, whenever it was March, April, he's been great. Student of the game, learns from his mistakes, leads, competitive, tough, fiery. There's a lot of good qualities to work with.
I mean, there's no doubt that the man is talented. Even when we played them, I know the Hawks won, but he made a couple throws where you're like, okay, I see what's going on there. But this is like bare minimum for a quarterback. I'm not trying to minimize what he's doing, but if you want to be a successful quarterback in this league, that's one thing you have to do. You got to be there early, watching film, getting your mind right.
Yeah, and I think pairing him with Brian Daboll is a really good move, because Daboll has a lot of success with young quarterbacks. He was very instrumental in Josh Allen, him establishing himself as an elite quarterback in the NFL. Daniel Jones worked with Daboll in New York, had some of his better seasons with the Giants, and now Cam Ward gets to work with Daboll now in Tennessee. I think Cam Ward is somebody that can take another step in 2026. I'm excited to see what he can do. He is fearless in some of the throws that he makes. Now, sometimes it comes back to bite him, but I think having a OC like Daboll, a guy who's got a lot of experience, I think that's going to be very beneficial for Cam Ward here in year number 2.
Yes, sir. All right, let's move along. It's sounding like a broken record in Buffalo, but how are the Bills bouncing back from another playoff heartbreak? Josh Allen answered that question with ESPN's Kevin Clark, cut 17.
Definitely, we've watched it. We've put it in the past. We've learned from it, and we've been in the playoffs a lot of times in the last, however many years I've been here now, and just continuing to find ways to learn from it. And I think that's it's a hard pill to swallow sometimes because we haven't gotten it done. But you knock enough at the door, it's going to open at some point, and that's just what we have to keep doing is keep knocking on that door and giving ourselves chances to be in that situation again.
I believe Josh Allen, no quarterback has ever started more seasons without getting to a Super Bowl whether it be as a winner or a loser, and then ended up winning it. Like, I know John Elway, he didn't win a Super Bowl until the very end of his career, but he had at least gone to, I think, 3 prior. Josh Allen has never been to a Super Bowl.
Never been.
And I'm pretty sure the stat I saw was no quarterback has gone this long into their career without ever making it to Super Bowl and then going on to win one.
Really?
Yeah.
Foreshadowing, huh? What did I say about Josh? Unfortunately, I don't think he'll ever win a Super Bowl.
I don't know if he will either.
As a starter.
Yeah. I mean, he's still, I think he's, 30, 31, around that age. So it's not like he is 37, 38 times running out, but definitely it's going to be a lot tougher.
Yeah.
And I don't know, the Joe Brady hire in Buffalo, what it sounds like is that he's running a much looser ship in Buffalo than Sean McDermott was running. And I kind of wonder if maybe, is that the right formula? I don't know.
It's different.
I'm not feeling very bullish on the Bills this year.
We shall see. All right, is the NFC South the hardest division to predict? ESPN's Amina Kynes gave her surprise pick to win the South in 2026. Cut 18.
It's a tricky division to pick. I like the New Orleans Saints, though, largely because of what I saw in the second half of last season and what they're building around the young quarterback. Tyler Shuck, who I thought played quite well last year. I think they did a lot to improve his circumstances, investing that offensive line, signing the guard David Edwards, bringing in Travis Etienne to shore up what was a pretty brutal run game, and then drafting Jordan Tyson. Then on the other side of the ball, this was a defense that really took a leap last season and finished really above average. They didn't add too much in the way of talent aside from bringing back Kade Anderson from Atlanta, but I do think if they can hold serve, this team has a good shot at the division.
There we go. I mean, they got some talent over there. Shuck looks good. You still got Kamara. You got Achane over there. You signed Chris Olave. You got Tyson from ASU.
Yeah.
I mean, the weapons are there. We'll see what Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore, yeah.
Can do with that talent over there.
Yeah, they brought Cam Jordan back, too. So, I mean, it is truly wide open in the NFC South. You can make a case for all 4 teams.
Yeah.
Because the Panthers won the division last year in a tie-break scenario because they did lose to the Bucs. I think, 3 teams finished 8 and 9 in the South. You had the Falcons, who are bringing in a new quarterback, new head coach. The Bucs, who are running it mostly back with Baker Mayfield and the rest of the gang there. So I look at the NFC South. You can convince me of any team in that division winning it, and I'd be like, yeah, you make a compelling argument.
Yep.
Mina Kimes makes a compelling argument for the Saints.
It's wide open, wide open. All right, we got more to do. We are live at Virginia Mason Athletic Center. We got Curtis Rogers filling in for Stacy. It's Bump Stacy.
The champs are back.
So great. Weather's awesome. Guys are in good spirits.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports, has your sideline pass every day with Bump and Stacy live from the VMAC from 10 to 2.
We're going to be able to take in practice all week long.
Then Wyman and Bob from 2 o'clock all the way up to Mariners pregame at 6.
Byron Murphy is with us. How are you, man? Putting in the work every day, you know.
The very latest news, insight, and exclusive analysis at seattlesports.com.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Hey, you mind keeping it down up there, please?
KeyBank will meet you in that I need new neighbors moment.
Rick, it's your mortgage loan officer, Beth. I was in the neighborhood and wanted to let you know your home loan application's been approved.
Beth, you're always there for me, and not a moment too soon.
Are your neighbors bowling with grand pianos again?
And apparently raising livestock?
Ugh. For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. Equal housing lender. NMLS number 399797.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
Here it comes, possibly the biggest online midsummer auction anywhere of heavy equipment, trucks, tools, lumber, and much more. Presented by the Murphy Auction Company, bidding gets underway at 10 a.m. Thursday, August 6th, and closes at 10 a.m. August 13th. Featured items include a 2020 Bobcat E32i excavator with less than 1,000 hours, a 2016 Freightliner 2100 Hydrovac truck, a 2011 John Deere 310J 4x4 backhoe, and much more. 10 excavators, 4 backhoes, 11 forklifts, 5 boom and scissor lifts, 5 rollers, 28 golf carts, and more than 60 heavy trucks. But wait, there's more. Attachments, roll-off boxes, shipping containers, contractor tools, lumber, and much more all going to the highest bidder. Preview all items August 11th and 12th, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at our location in Marysville, 3803 136th Street Northeast. For pictures, catalogs, and all details, visit murphyauction.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? The champs are back.
Really excited to get going.
Nobody covers Seahawks training camp like the home of your Super Bowl champions, Seattle Sports.
Emerald Queen Casino Event Center presents the main event, powered by WFC, Saturday night, August 8th. A night of professional boxing, where champions are made and every punch counts. Contenders from the region go toe-to-toe, ready to prove they belong at the top. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Don't miss Fight Night, August 8th at Emerald Queen Casino. Always entertaining. 21 and older, need gambling help? Call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
In 2026, Bay Alarm celebrates 80 years of security. For the Puget Sound, that means local service including burglar and fire alarm systems, 24/7 in-house monitoring, and custom security designed to work with business operations. Bay Alarm has real people rooted in your community looking out for your business. After 8 decades and 3 generations of family ownership, our promise is still the same. We got you. Learn more at bayalarm.com.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through August 24th, new Xfinity customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats. And get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We are live at the Virginia Mason Athletic Center. It's starting to get a little hot here. Fans are pouring in. Practice is going to start here pretty soon. Bump Stacy Show. I'm Michael Bumpus. Curtis Rogers is filling in. And we interviewed a Yahoo Sports Jordan Shusterman earlier. And he had some interesting things to say about the possibilities of the rotation and the bullpen. Here's what he said.
I also have to imagine, especially with Luis Castillo out the door now, we know that they are strongly considering Kade Anderson coming up. I have to imagine, and this is also not just based on how it's kind of trended recently and what happened last night, it feels like the organization is really banking on moving Hancock to the bullpen and having Anderson be that 5-starter, and that would just certainly put some length in the bullpen and maybe even some impact if Hancock can really pick up in a meaningful way. Whether that's the best possible strategy, and you could just say, well, why didn't you just get an actual other reliever? That's totally reasonable.
Well, that's the first time I heard of that. First time I heard of it, and we kind of perked up a little bit. What are your thoughts?
It would be a bold move for sure, especially considering that Hancock has been your most probably consistent starter in the rotation this year. Now, he also has the shortest track record of any of your starters. He's done it for the least amount of time. Not to say that he, won't be able to be this pitcher going forward, but I think that would be a big risk in moving somebody who has had as much success in the 2026 season for somebody who's never done it at the big league level. Now, obviously, Kade Anderson is going to be in the Mariners rotation probably as soon as opening day 2027. Like that would not surprise me one bit. But over the course of the next 7 weeks, who's going to get you a better return, Emerson Hancock or Kade Anderson? I mean, yeah, Anderson's upside is higher than Emerson Hancock's for sure, but I don't know if I would mess with that as much as that would probably mess things up.
Yeah, that's the thing that concerned me was what you said, the consistency that Hancock has played with this year. I haven't seen Kade, right? I don't know what his stuff looks like, but obviously he's dominating at that level. I would love to see him, but I also don't want to mess up any type of chemistry or flow that could possibly happen now that they for sure have this 5-man rotation.
Yeah, and I mean, Hancock is nearing sort of his highest innings total that he's had in his career, so maybe there's worry that anything beyond what they might have in store for Hancock he's not going to be able to do. And I believe Kade Anderson is only pitching about once a week right now, so that would mean he does not have as much wear and tear on his arm as he did his final season at LSU, where he was, throwing every third or fourth game. But I think if I am Jerry Dipoto right now, I don't know if thrusting Kade Anderson into a pennant race is going to be the best thing for your team. Now, if it happens, I'm going to be very intrigued. I'm going to be watching every start that Kade Anderson makes with great attention to detail. But I don't know if this is it, especially with the comments that Dipoto made yesterday, him saying, like, we're absolutely not moving Kade Anderson to the bullpen. We are making him a starting pitcher. That's what he's going to be for basically here on out. I don't know if moving Hancock to the bullpen makes the Mariners the best version of themselves, especially because you're also going to get, hopefully, guys like Matt Brash back. Carlos Vargas could be coming back soon. So there is help on the way to that bullpen. I don't know if messing with your rotation in that way is going to make you the best version of yourselves in the season final month and a half.
Yeah, something has to be done, though, right? I mean, you made a couple moves as far as bullpen help and obviously getting yourself a bat. You sent Castillo to the White Sox, and it sounds like unless there's an injury, we're not going to see Kade. And that's kind of disappointing, but I also understand it as well.
Yeah, I think so. And we had all kind of anticipated or at least hoped that Kade Anderson was going to be part of the 2026 Mariners. And not to say that he won't be, but it just feels like there are too many established guys in the rotation right now to where you could do anything about that, where if you do promote Kade Anderson, you're just kind of reintroducing the problem that you just had to unload, where you've got too many starting pitchers. And, like, if you weren't willing to move Emerson Hancock around for Luis Castillo, a guy who has been an established starting pitcher in baseball, who at times has been your ace pitcher over the last 4 seasons, if you weren't willing to move Emerson Hancock for that, like, you're going to tell me that moving Hancock for Kade Anderson, a guy who has not done it a day in his life,
not a day,
at the big league level, like, I don't see that happening.
That'd be a bold move right there.
It would be.
A bold move.
Sure.
And it could be a move that could propel you, or you can shoot yourself in the foot. that's the tough part about this time of the year, too, is like you want to shake some things up because obviously you're not where you want to be, but you also don't want to shake it up too much. It's all right, well, let's just plan on these guys just performing at a higher level, playing better. And if not, I mean, I know people want to hear this. There's always next year with Kade. You know, we don't want to get into that thinking already, but the way you're describing the scenarios and situations and what you would do and wouldn't do, it sounds like it's probably best you just let Kade marinate.
Well, and you've also got to wonder about his innings limits as well, because he's not somebody that is, stretched out to pitch 200 innings in a season. He's never come close to that number. He is somebody that has never pitched in a pennant race. Like he has pitched, he pitched in big games in his college career, pitched in a College World Series, won one with LSU last year, but this is entirely different. And you look at this month of August, the games that the Mariners have in store for themselves, like this is a rough landing spot for anybody to be kind of put into, where you've got a series against the Rays, you've got series against the Yankees, you've got series against the Brewers and the Cubs and the Phillies, all these teams that are very much in the playoff picture. You're going to put somebody out there that hasn't pitched a game in his life at the big league level. That's going to be a tough ask of anybody. But I mean, look, Anderson has just an incredible amount of talent. I wouldn't be shocked if he came up and had success right away, but with anybody coming up and making their major league debut, you do have to plan for the possibility of there being, some bumps along the way.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, there's always adjustments that need to be made.
Yeah.
You know what I'm going to do tonight, Curtis?
What are you going to do?
I'm going to go find some film with Kade. I just want to see him toss the rock once or twice, man, because the hype, they're saying the hype is real. The best pitcher in the minors is what Dipoto said, so I'll take his word for it. All right, man, we got one more hour of the Bump and Stacy Show. Practice is going to get started here pretty soon at the Virginia Mason Athletic Center. We got more to do. Going to get back to some football that's coming up next on the Bump and Stacy Show.
Seattle Sports, home of Wyman and Bob, 2 to 7.
Seahawks out here, Hard Knocks, film crew is out here. You kind of have to look for them. They did take up the whole gravel parking lot out there with all their trailers. Oh, did they? Yeah, but I think Mike McDonald, this is right up his alley, right? Like how to ignore it and don't worry about all of that stuff. He's all about that. It's going to be interesting to watch what footage they use, and they're out there recording everything. They got it dialed in. They've done this before.
On Seattle Sports. Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Hey, I know something you probably haven't done in a while. Climb into your crawl space or your attic. Yeah, me neither. Mike Salk here. And most homeowners avoid those areas for good reason. But it's important to check on them regularly, especially here in the Northwest, where groundwater can wreak havoc and many homes lack the proper insulation in these spaces. So when it's hot in the summer, your house gets even hotter. And guess what? When it's cold in the winter, your house gets even colder because you don't have enough insulation. The good news, you don't have to crawl into those dingy areas because Crawl Pros will do it. They go where you don't want to. That's what they did at my house. They found a little rodent intrusion and they found the insulation problem. So yeah, they can help you get it all fixed just like they did with me. And if you need any work done, local utility companies offer rebates that could save you thousands on your project. Don't just assume that your crawl space and attic are in great condition. Do what I did. Call Crawl Pros today. Schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection at crawlpros.com.
Are you looking for the best deal on a new home? Discover the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. With new home communities from Lacey to Stanwood, ranging from the low 500s to the high 1 millions, D.R. Horton has the right home at the best value for you. Your new home is within reach, so what are you waiting for? Learn more about the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. Visit drhorton.com and schedule a tour today. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Keep summer outside where it belongs. Save $588 on every window and $1,088 on every door, plus free heat deflecting glass. Claim your free quote today, plus 12 months no payments. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Lee Johnson Auto Family.
The best path at that point was to Dot for the night, and you go home and take a breath. She came back in the morning and bought the car. She was way happier.
The LJ Way.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8157. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-8157. That's 800-575-8157.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
How sweet it is! 50 seasons of moments. 50 seasons of legends. A once-in-a-lifetime event. Join Mariners past and present at T-Mobile Park August 7th through 9th for 50 Season Celebration Weekend. The festivities begin Friday with a post-game slugfest, the Alumni Home Run Derby featuring Ichiro and other former Mariners sluggers, presented by Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Saturday will be a showstopper. 50 Season Celebration Night presented by Daktronics. Arrive early to witness the biggest gathering of franchise icons ever assembled as the 50 greatest Mariners from across all 5 decades are revealed.
It just continues.
The weekend wraps up on Sunday with a collectible 50 Seasons pin giveaway thanks to KeyBank. Seats are going fast. Get yours at mariners.com/tickets.
Hi, how can I help?
Well, my husband and I feel like we've outgrown our current money manager.
I see.
Our lives have changed, and we need something more than just mutual funds to help us in retirement.
She's right.
I hear that often. At Fisher Investments, we'd start by getting to know you, your finances, family, health, lifestyle. We tailor a portfolio around your goals and needs.
Sounds good.
Can you help with estate planning?
Yes. We have a team of specialists who can help you with estate planning, Social Security, investment income, and more. We'll get to know your whole financial picture and help keep you on the path to a comfortable retirement.
And your fees?
We have a simple, transparent fee that's a percentage of the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
I feel better already.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com/different. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Not the debut we were hoping for from the Mariners after the trade deadline. They fell to the Tigers 8-0. They try again tonight at 6:40. Wu is on the mound, and Hard Knocks premiered last night. Got some great reviews. The Northwest is looking good on camera. And the Storm take on the Liberty at 4 p.m.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
Final hour of the Bump and Stacy Show. We got the Dad podcast going today. Curtis Rogers filling in for Stacy. And if you didn't watch Hard Knocks last night, you missed out. I was excited. There was one or two times, Curtis, I can't even remember exactly when it was, where I got so hyped over something someone said or did that I stood up real quick, like, the old man watching the news, you know what I'm saying? But no, it was a different experience because we're connected to this team.
Yeah.
Usually we're watching Hard Knocks and we're laughing at a garbage team or, it's just we're not connected. So seeing the cameras here and connecting with the players, we get to talk to some of those players, totally different experience.
It really was, and it peeled back the curtain of something that I think we've all wanted to know, just kind of the inner workings of the Seahawks for years and years and years. And we finally got to see some of that last night, and it was a moment, or not really a moment, but it was just a hour of stuff that I think confirmed a lot of what we thought about this team.
Yeah.
Where, like, yeah, they run a very tight ship, and they have their affairs in order. Like, they have everything taken care of. Yeah. Where, like, it is not an organization like the Jets. It's not an organization like the Browns, where everybody's just kind of like, we might be good. Where it's a lot of false hope. Like, it's real here. And you could see last night in a lot of moments in the show where it's like, yeah, this I can see why they won the Super Bowl last year.
It's like a real family. You know what family does from time to time, Curtis?
They bicker.
They fight, they get after each other, but it's all love end of the day, and there needs to be a parent to kind of mediate situations. And I think we had that situation go down between Brady Russell and Derek Carr. Here's cut number 6.
I'm disappointed in D. Hall. Like, why would you come in and go behind the guys?
I'm just telling you, the thing Brady said to him, bro, like...
What did he say?
He said you changed because your money. D. Hall hasn't changed, man. Like, that, when you, like, get into talking, I'm good with that, but
that's kind of...
Those personal things, like, they're the things that chip away at...
I didn't know he said that. When did he say that?
He said it on the sideline. I was heard him. I'm kind of trying to just keep it calm.
Yeah. Hey, Brady, I'm good with us, like, trash talking, but, like, I think you kind of crossed the line. Like,
is there?
I know your emotions are high, but, like, it's kind of a chotch thing to tell D.
What you got, Mac? Yes, sir.
You agree?
Yeah. Yeah.
As your teammate, like, should be happy for him. Now, if he does a cheap shot, like, tell him he's out of line for a cheap shot.
I guess that's kind of what I felt like I was doing. Because of his slam on Cable Dude.
That's fair, but like,
I agree.
All right.
Hey, you got to talk it out sometimes, and you cross the line from time to time. I've been on teams where it happens. It's more about how you come to a resolution, right? How do we get through this? Because something tells me, Curtis, Russell's going to be on this team and D. Hall's going to be on this team.
Yeah,
when it's all
you're going to
said
have
and
to
done.
make this work.
Yeah, got to make it work.
I think it's funny. One thing I've picked up on with Mike McDonald is that when he's really annoyed by something, he calls it a chotch.
Chotch.
I've never heard that before, but he calls it a chotch, or like, I'm being a chotch. That's his thing. And he said it right there to Brady Russell in his talk with him. I did see running back coach Thomas Hammock walk out onto the field. He was another underrated star of last night's show. We played the clip yesterday of him just unleashing hell on the running back room, just being like, if you want... I think he was talking about the Pro Football Focus list that had the Seahawks running back room as the worst in football.
Yeah.
And, like, if you want to prove them wrong, like, you'll prove them wrong with your work. And it's like, yeah, like, let's go, coach. I'm ready.
He used a football term I haven't heard before, maybe because I wasn't a running back. He said, run through the soft shoulder. And I'm like, oh, that makes so much sense. Like the shoulder that's turned a bit, you know what I mean? Like if you're not going to juke somebody, run through the soft shoulder. I'm definitely going to start using that in my football talk.
Yeah. So there were a lot of really cool things in the show last night. Mike McDonald in cut number 5 using the Chicago Bulls dynasty as an example of how the Seahawks can turn their one championship into multiple.
MJ was MJ, right? There's another level to where he was able to take his game because he bought into this idea of team basketball. So why do I tell you that story? Like, in the NFL, guys, I really believe this, that the secret sauce of the NFL is connection. What if everybody was on the same page, going in the same direction, playing off one each other, building each other up, not caring who gets the credit, and just going? And where could that take us? What if we could get the whole building involved in just creating this vision of who we want to become all the time? This is how we know when we go into games that we have the competitive advantage because we have this in our corner. All right, and this is the time of year to make it come to life.
What's funny about that clip, I love it. I think he's right. He said Jordan bought into the to team basketball. No, Jordan used to scare fools and be like, you better do what you're supposed to do or you ain't going to be on this team. Therefore, we are connected. We're playing team basketball.
Well, I forget who it was in the last dance. It was like a guy who was at the very end of the bench that Jordan would just give the hardest time to in practice, where I forget who it was, but I remember them talking to him, and he was kind of like, yeah, I was going to listen to what MJ said because he was MJ. Like, I wasn't going to do, what I thought I wanted to do. Like, this guy's the best player in the league. But, yeah, I think getting that buy-in from everybody in order to get this team where they want to go, they already did it once, and I think it's going to be easier to prove to guys who have already been here, like, yeah, that's a formula that absolutely is going to work because we have a brand new Lombardi trophy here. Like, this is something that can absolutely turn into a Super Bowl title. Now, I think the formula is going to have to work a little bit differently because you can't just make a carbon copy of every single season because everybody's game planning against you. There's new people in the building, what have you. And, I mean, we learned from the Mariners this last year, like, they were so tight-knit in 2025, and, like, everybody was pulling for each other. And this year, like, that chemistry just – it has not shown itself to be there. So having to maybe replicate what they did last year into this year, it's going to be tough. And I thought it was interesting, McDonald pointing out in one of those team meetings, we didn't grab the cut, but he said, like, the 2026 Seahawks, that's a new team. Like, this is a new team. Like, yeah, there's a lot of familiar faces out here, but ultimately this is a brand new team with new goals that are, you know, similar to what they had last year, but ultimately this is a brand new operation they got going on.
Yeah, man, you start all over. I mean, you have maybe 65 to 70% of the guys who are back, but there's another 30% that don't know what it's like to win a championship, don't understand the work that is put in. I'm sure these guys are all hard workers. They wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
But
well, the guy we talked to hasn't won a championship either, Brian Fleury.
I didn't even call a game.
Yeah.
You know, there's some newness going on
here.
A Super Bowl MVP ain't here anymore. You know, you're one of your best defenders, and Kobe Bryant isn't here. So there's a lot of familiarity, which is good. But you also have to take into account that there are guys who just don't know. You don't know what you don't know, and they're trying to figure it out during training camp.
Exactly. One guy, though, that we all know is Devon Witherspoon, and we did get some insight for the first time into his contract talks. In cut number 2, John Schneider spoke on the importance of getting a deal done with him.
We've had negotiations over the last 17 years that, you know, haven't been real fun, but every individual's different. It's the person, right? So Spoon's just like this great, like, high energy, you know, vibrant guy. We all have the same goal in mind, and we'd love to get that done because Spoon's a great player.
Yeah, you gotta listen. This is going to get done.
Yeah,
but there's a procedure that John wants to make sure that it goes smoothly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he doesn't want Spoon to feel disrespected. He doesn't want Spoon to feel like this is being pushed to the side. It's just there's some things that they have to do, and I think that shows just the experience of Schneider as well, right? He knows that. Look, we have to get this done, but it's more important to me that he understands his value and his worth, and not to think he's being ignored.
Right, and I think Schneider's experience in these negotiations can only help because, I mean, you think back to all the guys that they have gotten signed in training camp over the years. Like, this is just kind of typical timing for the Seahawks. And one thing that I maybe read into with his comments and Witherspoon's comments last night were that the one concern I think a lot of people have had is the ownership change, and if that might delay any sort of contract talk, or that might delay any sort of like deadline put for this, because I believe it's not till like the 26th of this month where that will get voted on by the NFL and will be cemented and put in place, and the ink will dry on that sale. But I think based off of the comments that we heard from both sides last night, that it sounds like they're getting close.
Yeah.
It just sounds like there's maybe a few things that, you know, both sides don't want to necessarily bend the knee on, but I think ultimately this deal will get done. In fact, in cut number 3, Devon Witherspoon spoke for the first time in training camp in a one-on-one on Hard Knocks, talking about why his skill set is so rare that you got to pay him.
Outside of quarterback, for real, we got the hardest position on the field, man. It's just, it's hard to guard these guys, especially when you can't touch them past 5 yards. I mean, like, these guys they real talented, man. I mean, it's just a hard job to play. So when you got a guy who could really do, like, shut down a receiver or just, like, can be versatile like I am, like, you don't come across those guys often, for real. So when you got a premier corner like that, it's just you pay him. Like, please pay him. That's all we saying, so.
Pay the man. McDuffie got paid. Ward got paid. Now it's time for Spoon to get paid. And I've, like I said it before, I bought into the idea that cornerback is the second hardest position in football. Everything is working backwards. You're working in a whole bunch of space. You're dealing with one of the most athletic guys on the football field and receivers. Not just saying that because I am a receiver or was a receiver. No, I bought into it. I think cornerback is the second hardest position.
It makes a lot of sense when you break it down the way you did, where, yeah, you're basically doing everything in backwards.
Yeah.
Like, you are trying to do your job to the fullest capability, where you've got the wide receiver running at you full speed the way you're supposed to run, forward, and you've got everybody else running backwards. Like, yeah, when he paints the picture like that, he's right. By the way, text line filling me in on what Chicago Bulls player it was that MJ.
Who was it?
Scott Burrell.
Scott Burrell.
He was like the 15th man on the Bulls roster.
For some reason, I was going to say Bill Cartwright.
the center?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who had the ugliest jump shot of all time.
So nasty.
One
when
of
it
the
went
worst.
in.
It did.
It just looked ugly
Played
as heck.
a lot of years in the NFL.
He did.
Or in the NBA.
He did.
One of the ugliest jump shots ever.
Ugly as heck. The thing with Jordan, man, I mean, when did Save the Last Dance come out? Like 4 years ago?
That was in COVID, so 2020.
Dang, it's that long, huh?
Yeah. Look,
Jordan.
I don't blame anybody for kind of fast forwarding through those years.
I was looking at pictures of my kids the other day at school with masks on. I was like, man, what a time. But Jordan was a mean one, man.
Right. I will say, using Michael Jordan as any sort of example in a sports comparison, like, that's tough to do because there's only one of him. Like, you will never have another like him. But it does kind of show your roster. Like, this guy, for all that he accomplished, was also willing to kind of put in the extra work to ensure himself of winning a title every year that he played a full season from, like, 91 onward.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan. He should be used in every training camp across America. All right, man. That was our review of Hard Knocks. I wish I heard this on the morning show, Brock and Sock show. I wish they had Hard Knocks every day, like Love Island. Because if they're able to pump out those episodes every day,
I don't know how they're able to. How they do that?
How do they do that?
Like the editing process. Like, how quickly do they edit that?
They must be sending stuff to the editing room as soon as it happens. Bam. We got to see it. It's ridiculous. All right, man. That is our Hard Knocks love. Let's get to 4 down territory.
This is 4 down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
All right, Bump. First down to you. What is something the Cardinals are doing that you hope the Seahawks do not do?
Yeah, the Cardinals, they are not going to play Love, their number 1 pick, in their first game of the season, the Hall of Fame game. And listen, I understand maybe you don't want to get him hurt. Maybe they see the offensive line and we're like, listen, man, if he's going to go down, we're going to make sure it goes down during the season. Because I went and saw what Genty did last year in preseason, right, number 1 pick, or for a running back. He had 12 carries for 37 yards. Week 2 against the Niners where he had 7 carries. I want to see Price touch the football. It ain't got to be a lot. 2 or 3 times or whatever. Just get him acclimated, get him in the mix so he can feel the chemistry with the line and just the NFL game. It's a different game. We spoke to Milroe yesterday, and he talked about how the SEC prepared him for the NFL, but it's still an adjustment, right? Everyone here is good. There's only 1,500 players in this league, and you got to be able to feel it. You got to be able to adjust a little bit. So I hope that they actually give my man some run because I want to see him touch the football.
And it's the Hall of Fame game. Like, this is your first opportunity to set foot on an NFL field. Like, let's see it.
Come on.
2nd down. All right, Bump. 1 episode of Hard Knocks is in the books. What did you love most about it?
All right, so there's 2 things. I went from 1 to 2. Okay. First thing I loved was the way that Mike Macdonald just is. I met him when he first got the job. Stacy and I were the first to interview him.
That's
We're
right.
talking to him, and then I met with him afterwards a couple times, just try to get to know him. And cool dude, still is a cool dude. But even now, he seems even more comfortable with who he is. And if he's able to project that, the players are going to follow that lead. And that's why when he talks to the team about the cameras and all that, he says, look, just be who you are, right? Be yourselves. We want people to see exactly what's going on here in Seattle. So that's one thing I loved about it, is that he was himself. He was authentic. It was all good. The second thing I loved, the Northwest is beautiful on camera, man. It is beautiful on camera.
Very true.
Like I take it for granted sometimes. You know, I drive down the 5 and 405 all the time. When I first moved out here, because I'm from Cali, right? When I first moved out here, I would just stare at the trees all day. I'm like, all these dang trees. In Cali, we ain't got trees like that. And I took it for granted. And yesterday I was reminded, you got the bald eagle in slow motion. You got the lake right there, the Blue Angels. Yeah, Seattle is a special place, especially in the summer. So, I took it for granted.
Oh, I take it for granted all the time, too. And anytime somebody from out of town comes in and they see Mount Rainier, they're always shocked at, like, how it's right there.
Yeah.
And, I mean, those of us who have lived here for a good portion of our lives, it's just kind of like, oh, yeah, there's Mount Rainier. Like, big whoop. You see it every day. But, yeah, you're 100% right about that. You're not going to get a better, I think, scenic training camp spot than right here.
Yeah. I want to peel back the curtain for the people at home. I'm watching Mike Lefkoe struggle for his life right now to cover up. What do you call that over there?
Well, it's our board. It's going to overheat. Figured it out. Look at this. This is pretty ingenious.
Hey,
it's a broken handle, so it won't clamp down to anything.
Hey, it took him like 5 minutes, but I think he got it.
I understand Dave and Bob were making fun of Trevor the first day out here, and I get it now. This is a tough umbrella. They're for the exact same thing, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, we're just keeping the vibes accurate over here.
Third down. All right, Bump, what is a name you're going to be paying more attention to today at practice?
His name is Montori Foster Jr., number 87. Just saw him run outside and get ready for practice. The reason why I'm going to be looking at this young man is because yesterday we met with Jalen Milroe, and Stacy asked him, is there a player who needs more love? People don't really know, and that's the name he mentioned. I would not make this team, or wouldn't have made this team, if Seneca Wallace did not toss me the football the way that he did. And I'm hoping that's the type of connection they have. If you are a second or third quarterback or a second or third string wide receiver, y'all got to be best friends, okay? He's got to be able to toss you a rock that he's not supposed to toss you because he trusts you, and then you guys both look good on film, and the coaches are talking about you. So I love that that's who he pointed out, because I don't think anybody listening probably knows who that guy is, all right? He was also a substitute teacher during the offseason, so you know he's got a big heart. So, Montori Foster Jr., number 87. I'm rooting for him. I'll be watching him. I hope he makes the team. That's my guy.
He does it for the kids. Substitute teacher, man, I could never be a substitute.
You get the worst of the kids.
Yeah.
You get the worst.
Every kid, when the teacher's gone, just turns into a monster.
Monster.
And I don't know what it is. Like that, I always feel bad, like as an adult now, looking back on my teenage years. It's like, man, why did we as a class treat this substitute teacher who was just there trying to make a paycheck?
Just went crazy.
Yeah.
It's like when you see the now these kids all have big monitors in their rooms. When you saw the TV get rolled in,
yeah.
We're like, oh yeah, it's gonna be a light day. But yeah, substitutes. Big ups to all my teachers, but big ups to substitutes, because kids be acting up when y'all doing your thing.
Fourth down. All right, Bob, what do you like about Cooper Kupp's leadership?
Cooper Kupp is everywhere. He's in the quarterback room. He's in the receivers room. Obviously, he's in the team meetings, and he's sitting there with coach watching film as well. I mean, his knowledge of the game, he's like, look, I got all this knowledge. I'm going to help. I'm going to spread it. And he's a leader out here. He's not the leader who's going to be really vocal, going to be really loud. If you're not looking for Cooper Kupp, you might miss him out here because he's so low-key unless he's making a play. I like that his knowledge goes beyond just one room. All right, when I was here, I'd go to the receivers room and sometimes the cornerback's room just to mess around or whatever and kick it. But no, he's going over there with intent. I'm going to teach and be taught and keep learning and spread the love. I love that approach, man. And because he's in all those different rooms, he gets access to different players too. You know, a lot of the times you can just stick with your position. I mean, you still know the guys and hang out with them, but you stick with your position and you don't really connect elsewhere. Cooper Kupp's not doing that. He's everywhere.
He is absolutely everywhere. We heard it from Brian Fleury too, where Cooper Kupp has become one of those guys in the NFL where you just kind of let him, do what he needs to do, and he has built up enough equity to where he can have the kind of say that he does in every single meeting room that he's in every single time he's around other position groups. Like, he is what we would call he's absolutely a veteran leader for sure, but like definitely a culture setter, somebody that is you got to have guys like that on your team if you want to end up winning a Super Bowl, and thankfully the Seahawks do, and thankfully the Seahawks did win a Super Bowl.
They did. He's got two of them things. It's crazy. He's got 2 Super Bowls, and he's been Offensive Player of the Year. You got 2 former Offensive Players of the Year on your team right now. In the
same wide receiver room.
Same room. And Jason said, too, he said he wouldn't be there without Cooper Kupp. Like, having a peer who's done everything that you're trying to do is vital for a football team. So, Cooper Kupp, just showing some love. All right, man, at 1:45, we got What I Need to Know. Get your questions in, 866-979-3776. We got more Bump and Stacy coming back. We're live at the Virginia Mason Athletic Center.
Seattle sports extends far beyond Western Washington. Every single day, thousands across our state listen and stream Seattle sports, including our neighbors in Spokane listening on KXLX radio. Our thoughts are with everyone in Spokane, where historic fires have already devastated our state's second most populated city. Join Seattle sports in doing whatever you can for our neighbors in Spokane. See how you can help at mynorthwest.com.
Are you squeezing every last bit out of your summer? Looking for a fun add to your itinerary? I got the perfect trip. It's already planned for you at Silver Reef Casino Resort. Make a whole weekend out of it. Here's what you need to do. You head up Friday, treat yourself to a delicious dinner at the steakhouse. On your way to dinner, become a free member of Reef Rewards. It allows you discounts on gas, dining, hotel, and spa. And Saturday, get yourself a tea time at Loomish Trail. Make sure you get there early, check out the range, and walk the historic clubhouse. It is beautiful. After your round, enjoy a Saturday night dinner at Cantina or the Red River Cafe before live entertainment. Sunday is for the spa. Relax and recharge with a massage or treatment just to work out those knots and kinks and just unwind. Before you head home, plan your next weekend at Silver Reef, maybe for Crazy Train, Howie Mandel, or Guns for Roses. All you got to do, take the I-5 exit 260, silverreefcasino.com.
Do you need a new roof? Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free estimate and secure $500 off your project this summer. Our technicians build a custom plan to ensure a high-quality roof installation every time. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. See our current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code GO to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code GO to borrow up to $10,000. Use code GO to borrow up to $10,000.
This summer, there are 250 reasons to join T-Mobile.
Girls trip? Booked. And switching to T-Mobile helped make it happen.
With Experience Beyond, switch and get $100 back. Plus, $650 in value in built-in plan benefits. That's $750 in your first year, guaranteed.
And honestly, that $100 back, I'm putting it towards the zip line.
Now that's how you do summer.
Exactly. Best switch I ever made.
This is just one reason to join T-Mobile this summer. There are 250 reasons. Find yours.
Savings based on the value of benefits included with Experience Beyond, like entertainment and 1 year of AAA Classic and Dash Pass on Us. Benefits may require activation. See plan for details. Get $100 via virtual prepaid MasterCard with eligible ported, no cash access, and expires in 6 months. Issued by Sunrise Banks, N.A. member FDIC. Allow 8 weeks.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Right now is the perfect time to save some money, and one of the easiest ways to save, take the First Mark Challenge. Molly and I took the First Mark Insurance Challenge, and we saved thousands of dollars the first year with First Mark Insurance, and we've been saving ever since. Here's how. First Mark Insurance works for you, not one insurance company. They compare rates and coverage from dozens of the top-rated carriers. Then they go to work to find you the right coverage at the lowest possible price for your needs. And when you need them, well, you'll talk to a real person who knows you and is there to help you. That's the kind of world-class service that has kept us with First Mark year after year after year. Take the First Mark Challenge today. It costs you nothing. There's no obligation, and you'll find out just how much money you could be saving every single month. You could be the next First Mark Challenge victory. They've had over 11,000 of them. Simply go to firstmarkinsurance.com. What are you waiting for? Your savings? They start tomorrow. firstmarkinsurance.com. That's firstmarkinsurance.com.
Hey, Mariners fans, the Law Tigers are teaming up with your Seattle Mariners and Destination Harley-Davidson to give one lucky fan a custom 2026 Street Bob to celebrate 50 seasons. Now, the bike was painted by the legendary VC Designs. You can enter now at mariners.com. The bike will be given away live at the game on September 22nd, so go to marinersbike.com to enter today. Again, that's marinersbike.com to win. And the Law Tigers were born from a passion for the open road. It's Bob Stelton here, and I've been riding for quite a while now, and it's nice to know these guys are in my corner if I need them. Law Tigers was built by riders for riders, protecting what matters most, your freedom, your family, and the ride. They're available 24/7, 365, and your case evaluation is always free. There are no fees until your case settles. So if you're injured in a motorcycle accident, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS or visit lawtigers.com. With Law Tigers, you never ride alone. Cook Law Office, PLLC, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
This is the Bump and Stacy Show. We got Curtis Rogers filling in, about half an hour left of this show. All right, the Dad Podcast is going down today. We're at Virginia Mason Athletic Center. It is full in this piece. The Hawks are out there. They're doing their special teams period right now. This is, last week or a couple days ago I said, look, if you are a receiver on the bubble, you got to find a way to grab attention. This is where you do it. Special teams. You got to catch, return, make guys miss.
Just go,
hey. If everyone was mic'd up during practice, you would hear that a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, that is just the natural football, even just any athletic movement sounds. You're gonna push the air out like that.
I thought it was cool last night. They did a whole montage on Hard Knocks of just guys getting the pads on and then guys hitting each other with the pads on.
Yeah.
You just heard that sound. Like, that's such a football sound.
It's like the crack of a bat for you.
I was gonna say, to you, the sound of pads bashing into each other, that's got to be just music to your ears.
I was standing next to Stacy during one of the practices, and a player ran by. I go, "You smell that?" Because I go, "That's football right there. The sweat,
the must,
the pad, like everything." I have flashbacks going through my head because the smell of football just gets me going. All right, so this is got to be practice like 9 or 10 or something like that by now.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to seeing today?
Today, I am looking forward to seeing. I want to see. I mean, my eyes have been on the running backs throughout camp, and it's funny because last night in Hard Knocks there was a nice little montage of Jerry Price, and you had guys really complimenting him. I know Byron Murphy had a lot of praise for him in that one scene, just kind of talking about his shiftiness. And it's funny, we talked to Brian Fleury earlier in the show today about Price and just kind of where he's at, and it was funny. I mean, Fleury did mention that he did not watch last night's episode, so maybe he doesn't know just kind of how much glow they gave Price in episode 1, but it is funny because you see that and it's like, oh man, you start to think like, oh man, this guy, first round pick, like you put all the highlights together and it makes him look like he's going to be amazing and stuff. Yeah. But Fleury was very quick to remind us, well, he is a rookie. And so it's like, oh yeah, you're right. Like those are selected highlights. Like we're not going to see everything there is to see about a single player in one episode of Hard Knocks. But ultimately this Seahawks running back group, Bump, I think will be in the best possible position if by the end of the season Price is your number 1 running back, and that's even with a healthy Zach Charbonnet. Do I think he will ultimately be able to leapfrog Zach Charbonnet, a healthy Zach Charbonnet on the depth chart? Remains to be seen, but if you're looking at what kind of development you want to see from that group in 2026, that would make me, I think, most comfortable heading into the following season, however this year ends up.
I'm looking at the secondary too, right? Because Kobe's out, Reek is out. You still have Josh Jobe, who I think is one of the most underrated corners in the game. You still have Spoon or whatnot, but I'm looking and seeing just how that's going to mold, right? Especially with Nicky Mawari being out. I hate calling him a corner because he is something more than that. He is his own position out there. But I'm interested to see if Dansby's going to step up and be one of the guys. Who else is out there?
Nehemiah Pritchett,
who made a great play on JSN the other day. I think the secondary is going to be a group that I'm looking at because you want to be able to take the football out the air. And with the defensive line that the Hawks have in front of them, or they'll have in front of them, you know there's going to be pressure on the quarterback at all times. So this secondary has to take advantage of that. And then I'm expecting Ty Okada to lead the charge at that safety spot until Bud Clark is ready to go. So the secondary is going to be a group that I'm very interested in.
Now, Bump, I hate to break this news to you.
Oh, no.
You just dropped another Bumpism on us.
What'd I say?
You said take the football out the air.
Yeah, take the football out the air.
Oh, I thought you meant take the air out of the football.
No, take the football out the air.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No. Safe. Hey, you're sitting there just waiting.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute.
Wait for this one.
Wait a minute. That one's got some gray area, too.
Yeah, you know, it's a...
Keep you on your toes.
More of a football term. Yeah, it can confuse you. I can see where you get confused with that. The quarterback's right. I want to see what Drew Lock is looking like. We know that Sam's going to be the guy. And before we started this whole camp thing, you know, we're getting questions like, can Milroe really push to be that number 2 quarterback? And right now, no, I think it's Drew Lock. But I think that as the season goes along, as he starts to progress and understand the playbook and show that he can be responsible with the ball, maybe Milroe can push for that second spot.
Yeah, I mean, we've got the preseason opener coming up, a week from Saturday against the Cowboys. I will be very interested to see what the snap distribution is amongst the quarterbacks, especially because last year in the preseason, there was a lot of expectation for Jalen Milroe, and it didn't really feel like he lived up to it, and it was kind of like, all right, he's still a little rough around the edges. It looks like this is going to be Drew Lock's job as backup quarterback here in 2025. Now, we're a year down the road, and Milroe has had an entire offseason. He's been able to, learn the playbook. He is well entrenched here, a year under his belt, and he talked to us yesterday just kind of about, his offseason, what he focused on. Said he didn't practice running once. Said he practiced only throwing the football, which I thought was really interesting because every player works on their agility. Every player works on, their burst. But he was like, I'm good with that. Like, you don't need to worry about that. But it's the throwing for him that is what he really focused on this offseason. I will be very interested to see just what that accuracy looks like against the Cowboys on the 15th. I think Milroe, to me, Bump, I mean, in a perfect world, he does become your backup quarterback this season. But Drew Lock is a pretty steady backup. Like, that's, in my mind, when I think, like, backup quarterback and what a backup quarterback can give your team, it's hard to beat what Drew Lock gives you in terms of he can go out there if need be and win you a ball game.
I love that what you just talked about with Milroe saying, I just practice throwing. You know what that says? I'm a quarterback.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not going to play any other position. The running ability is just natural. I don't think Josh Allen goes out there and does drills where he's just running around. It's just a natural ability. Either you can do it or you can't do it. When it comes to conditioning, yeah, you got to obviously run and get all that stuff done. But it's not like he's doing all these cone drills and stuff where he's just focused on running. He is a quarterback, and I can't wait to see how he develops because we expect him to get the majority of the reps during the preseason.
I would think so. I would think he is probably – I think it's going to be most beneficial to him to get the majority of reps because he had mentioned yesterday, too, in how it's hard to go from just kind of sitting on the bench, standing on the bench, and then being thrust into action the way he was last year. And he had those, fumbles early on in the season when they did kind of throw him into the games cold. So I think ultimately getting him the most snaps possible in the preseason will do him the most good. And I think will do the Seahawks the most good because, I think Drew Lock is who he is as a quarterback, regardless of what kind of preseason action he gets. I would be stunned if you see Sam Darnold for more than like a series or two. He'll probably play a little bit in the second preseason game just because that's usually the preseason game where your veterans play at least a tiny bit. But I think ultimately Jalen Milroe should be the quarterback that gets the most snaps over the next month.
Yeah, he should be the guy. He's going to have an opportunity. And what if he goes out and he balls out, right? And say,
well, I think that is a great conversation to have because then you have a really desirable piece on your offense that other teams are like, hey, would you like a second-round pick for him?
How much more for Milroe?
Yeah, exactly. You saw it year after year with the Patriots with, like, Matt Castle and Jimmy Garoppolo, where they would have these, like, guys who had talent as second-string quarterbacks, and then other teams would be like, yeah, we'll give you a second-round pick for him. And then that was how the Patriots, that was part of the reason why the Patriots are able to kind of sustain things.
Beautiful day out here at the Virginia Mason Athletics Center. The crowd is here. The guys are going through special teams drill. We got one more segment for you here on the Dad Podcast Bump Stacy Show. What I need to know, so get your questions in right now. 866-979-3776. That's coming up next.
The champs are back.
So great. Weather's awesome. Guys are in good spirits.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports, has your sideline pass every day with Bump and Stacy live from the VMAC from 10 to 2.
We're going to be able to take in practice all week long.
Then Wyman and Bob from 2 o'clock all the way up to Mariners pregame at 6.
Byron Murphy is with us. How are you, man? Putting in the work every day,
The very latest news, insight, and exclusive analysis at seattlesports.com.
Hey, Brock, you're here with my buddy, Shannon O'Kelly from IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Shannon, you know I love this time of year. It's the boys of fall. They're out there playing football, but we also know that sport, especially professionally, gets guys banged up. And they have doctors and trainers and staff there to put them back together. What about for those that do get hurt being active out on their own? Where do they go?
They go to IRG Physical and Hand Therapy, Brock. We've always been available for the public, the consumer, that person out there that maybe has a bump or bruise, and maybe they're a recreational athlete. We are here to help them, give them guidance. But remember, Brock, in the state of Washington, we have what's called direct access. That means if you have an injury or a bump or a bruise, a problem, come see us. We can get you started in physical therapy right away, and we will navigate all the insurance complexities here at IRG Physical and Hand Therapy.
And the sooner you start, the sooner you feel better. And with over 40 locations all over Puget Sound, they're easy to find. You can find them online as well at irgpt.com. That's irgpt.com.
Got leaks? Tired of applying those cheap roof coating products that never seem to last? What if you could find a roof coating that remains permanently flexible and won't be impacted by harsh UV rays or temperature extremes? Dunn Lumber has what you're looking for. Geico Roof. 100% silicone roof coating, waterproofs, protects, and withstands permanent ponding water with an industry-leading 50-year limited warranty. Available in a variety of colors and on sale now at Dunn Lumber.
Yay to Bruce, the streaming king.
With quantum fiber internet, he's gonna binge.
He wants more, he's got to have more.
More bedtime true crime.
More podcasts in the shower.
Quantum fiber Wi-Fi has the power. More.
fast internet speeds got the geeks to go big. Bring 'em the game
right now.
And his royal we.
More sports non-stop. His quantifier is on top. Yay to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Limited availability, service, and speed in select locations only.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
A Wilt Chamberlain 1972 playoff game-worn jacket was recently bought for $3 at a Goodwill in Portland. You may not be sitting on a warm-up jacket worn by Wilt the Stilt, but there's serious value to your old gold, jewelry, watches, silver, and coins. Dave Wyman encouraging you to see what they're worth at Bellevue Rare Coins in Bellevue, Issaquah, Tacoma, and Linwood. They'll give you an honest, no-pressure assessment for free. See how much they're worth at Bellevue Rare Coins, and if the price is right, cash in.
The champs are back.
Really excited to get going.
Nobody covers Seahawks training camp like the home of your Super Bowl champions, Seattle Sports.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Here it comes, possibly the biggest online midsummer auction anywhere of heavy equipment, trucks, tools, lumber, and much more. Presented by the Murphy Auction Company, bidding gets underway at 10 a.m. Thursday, August 6th, and closes at 10 a.m. August 13th. Featured items include a 2020 Bobcat E32i excavator with less than 1,000 hours, a 2016 Freightliner 2100 Hydrovac truck, a 2011 John Deere 310J 4x4 backhoe, and much more. 10 excavators, 4 backhoes, 11 forklifts, 5 boom and scissor lifts, 5 rollers, 28 golf carts, and more than 60 heavy trucks. But wait, there's more. Attachments, roll-off boxes, shipping containers, contractor tools, lumber, and much more all go into the highest bidder. Preview all items August 11th and 12th, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at our location in Marysville, 3803 136th Street Northeast. For pictures, catalogs, and all details, visit murphyauction.com.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
It is time for What I Need to Know. Get your questions in. 866-979-3776. Get them in right now. What I need to know. With the Dodgers about to lose their 6th in a row, can the M's make a comeback with Cal having a subpar season?
I mean, you're not going to catch the Dodgers. They're so far out ahead. I think the Mariners can absolutely get to the playoffs, even with Cal having the year that he has had. Like, they're right there.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even need Cal to be at his very best in order to even win the AL West. So it would be great if Cal could get to even a fraction of what his production has been, but I mean, at this point in the year, I'm not banking on it, so you just kind of have to go with what you got.
Yeah, I'm with you. I support that message 100%. What I need to know, easiest way to get my 4-month-old daughter to sleep faster. Don't let her take naps. I don't know, man. It's that's tough. Every kid's different.
Right. It's so hard. Our oldest, Willa, who's 5, she was so hard to get to sleep, whereas our youngest, Blair, who is 3, she used to put herself to sleep even as a baby. Like she would be playing on the floor, and then we wouldn't have heard. We didn't hear any noise come from her, and she's just on her back, eyes closed, asleep. And it's like, oh, cool.
She likes sleep.
I would say try and get your kids to like self-soothe as early as possible, so that you're not having to rock them to sleep.
Let them cry it out, man. It's all right.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to let them fight through. Now, there's a time where you're like, okay, that's enough. Let me come get you.
Yeah.
But if every time they cry, you go and get them, for the rest of their little baby toddler life, that's what it's going to be.
And you're going to feel like the worst parent in the world, letting them cry.
Yeah.
But you got to do it sometimes.
Let them cry it out, man.
Yeah.
All right. What I need to know, Bump, how true to life is Hard Knocks in your experience? It's very true to life. I think Hard Knocks is probably one of the most accurate TV programs you will ever watch. From guys being praised to the meetings to guys being cut to practice. I mean, they obviously the drama and the slow motion bring some life to it, but nah, man, Hard Knocks is real. Real as they come. What I need to know: chicken strips or fish and chips at T-Mobile Park? I'm going chicken strips all day.
Yeah, well, you don't do fish,
No, I don't do
so
fish.
I can see that. But I'll say this: the fish and chips you get at the very end, the left field corner of the Terrace Club, pretty spectacular. Pretty good. And they come with the like spiral fries. They're not curly fries, but they're like spiral.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good stuff. I'm all about that.
All about it. Yeah, I'm a chicken strips all day. If I go to a restaurant and I don't like the menu, chicken strips.
Give me chicken strips.
You're like a child. I don't care. I don't like the menu. I'm going chicken strips.
You know, Costco's got chicken strips now?
Do they?
Yeah. I haven't had any.
All right. I'll go to Costco after work. I'll let you know.
There you go.
I'll let you know. What I need to know: best current sports game on PS5 or Xbox. Listen, I don't play much video games these days, but it's always the sports games for me. It's Madden, it's 2K, it's FIFA, and I throw some Duty in there too.
There you go. I would say college football. That's a really good one. But I'm with you, Bump. I have not actually been a gamer in quite some time. The games, one game that I would regularly play that I don't think gets enough praise, but MLB The Show. That's a good one.
Yes, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I love it. I like how they make it real life too. You got to make real life decisions now, and it's cool. All right, what I need to know: when the Sonics return, new mascot, the Weedle or the Squash?
Oh, Squatch was the kind of it was the Sasquatch looking guy. Weedle, I believe, was like some kind of weather tracker thing.
Really?
Which I don't think was very beloved, which is why they brought in Squatch. I think they would have to bring Squatch back, right? Like that would be that would have to be who is the mascot of the team.
It's got to be. Someone says Costco chicken strips are hella extremely.
Oh.
Okay. All right. I'll let you know. Here we go. What you got? You got something, Curtis, over there?
This one is from the 360. They say, what I need to know, what is the best drive around the state? Okay.
The best drive. I'll tell you what's not it. Seattle to Portland is the wackest drive I've ever. Oh, my. It's the same thing over and over
Get
and
to Centralia.
over again.
It's the outlet mall.
Oh, my gosh. I hate that drive. If someone said you want to drive 3.5 hours to Portland or 5 to Spoke-Compton, I'm going to Spoke-Compton.
Wow.
It just changes. The whole ride, it just changes, and I love that.
I would say one of the best scenic drives is like driving out to Leavenworth.
Yeah.
You're going through the mountains.
I
think that's a really, really nice drive.
Yeah, I like that drive.
Yeah.
Especially when my favorite part of that drive is when you hit the reservoir over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, right after the pass. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
I didn't know things like that existed until I moved up here. This is gorgeous. Let's see. What I need to know, Bump. Do you support the troops? Of course, I'm from a military family. If so, could you send me 2 tickets to week 1 against the Pats? Listen, brother or sister,
look,
if I had pull like that,
yeah,
my family would go to every game.
We don't get tickets the way people think we get tickets.
I mean, we can get them.
Sure, we got to ask multiple people, though.
Yeah, and you can't keep going to the well. You know, you don't want to over.
Because if you dip into that well too much, then they're going to be like, dude, you're asking for too many tickets.
You know, last year I dipped into that well the most I ever dipped into it.
Really?
I had to thank Nas. I go, hey, Nas, I appreciate you. I know I'm asking a lot this year. Next year, I'll cut it down a little bit. I'll cut it down. All right. What we got? You got something over there?
We've got, a couple of submissions for Best Scenic Drive in the Northwest. Highway 20 in the spring with the falls. That's from the 206. 360 says the 101 Oregon Coast. We've got Chuckanut Drive in Bellingham. That's one. People not happy that I have no recollection of the Weedle. Let me tell you something. I was born in 1991. This mascot predates my time here on God's green earth.
I mean, we can't. We're born when we were born.
Yeah, exactly.
It is what it is. Born we were born. What I need to know, get your questions in, 866-979-3776. Can't find anything.
Oh, here's one. Right, what I need to know, am I petty for not forgiving Alex Rodriguez after that interview the other day? He doubled down on talking about how he had to do it for the money, and I get that, but I still remember his first interview with the Rangers where he said he wanted to go to a club with a, quote, winning culture.
I don't think you're petty, but I think you should let it go.
Yes.
I think you should let it go.
26 years ago?
Yeah. I mean, I said when I was 18, I said some things that I wouldn't dare say or think now. So it's people make mistakes. I wouldn't even say a mistake. Just when you're an athlete, sometimes you don't want to offend anybody, so you say some things that you typically might not truly believe because you haven't been presented with that option yet. And then you get presented with the option, and it's like, what? That's looking pretty good right now.
Well, and, he mentioned it yesterday, and he's mentioned it before, but, you get offered $150 million more than the next highest offer, you'd be kind of foolish to turn down that much money.
Yeah, it'd be crazy. There's the music.
There it is.
Matthew on the ones and twos telling us that it's time to get up out of here. It's been real. Curtis, thanks for doing your thing today.
Thanks, Bob.
Dad Podcast has been fun. Wyman Bob coming up next.
One of his most introspective interviews.
My dad left at 10. I saw my mom collect food stamps at 12.
Alex Rodriguez, exclusively with Brock and Salk.
What do you say to those that go, well, A-Rod, you told us that it wouldn't be about the money?
If you guys are up for free agency and you're 24 years old and one offers you X and the other one offers you $150 million more, where would you guys go? You have to do it.
Get all of this can't-miss conversation on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Hey, I know something you probably haven't done in a while. Climb into your crawl space or your attic. Yeah, me neither. Mike Salk here. And most homeowners avoid those areas for good reason. But it's important to check on them regularly, especially here in the Northwest, where groundwater can wreak havoc and many homes lack the proper insulation in these spaces. So when it's hot in the summer, your house gets even hotter. And guess what? When it's cold in the winter, your house gets even colder because you don't have enough insulation. The good news, you don't have to crawl into those dingy areas, because Crawl Pros will do it. They go where you don't want to. That's what they did at my house. They found a little rodent intrusion, and they found the insulation problem. So, yeah, they can help you get it all fixed, just like they did with me. And if you need any work done, local utility companies offer rebates that could save you thousands on your project. Don't just assume that your crawl space and attic are in great condition. Do what I did. Call Crawl Pros today. Schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection at crawlpros.com.
Looking to add some excitement to your next night out? Then come roll the dice. Join us Sunday to Thursday after 8 p.m. at Sea Star Restaurant and Raw Bar as Chef John Howie turns your dinner into an exciting game of chance. Enjoy fresh seafood, premier sushi, great steaks, and so much more. At the end of your meal, you roll the dice. You roll a 6, your entire food tab is free. Yes, 100% free. Will fortune favor you tonight? Gather your friends and go roll the dice. Book your table now at SeaStarRestaurant.com.
Looking for the best deal on a new home? Discover the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. With new home communities from Lacey to Stanwood, D.R. Horton has the right home for the best value. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
My goal is what's best for the customer. You know, I truly believe that I won't ever deviate from that.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Progressive provides protection for your boat and other outdoor vehicles so you can explore new things.
Oh, I can finally try pesto.
We meant like water skiing.
I've just never had pesto.
Or maybe take the boat somewhere new.
I mean, is pesto spicy or sweet? Oh, guess we'll find out, right?
Right. Bundle home or auto insurance with your boat, RV, or motorcycle and stay protected with Progressive while you explore.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not ready for pesto.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. But at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited everything for just $35 a line. That's $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction and get unlimited everything for just $35 a month. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit Consumer Cellular online or in-store today. Price includes $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes and fees apply. Data speeds reduced after 35 gigabytes. Rankings done by 2025 ACSI survey.
Less than 4 in 10 kids aged 6 through 12 are playing sports regularly. 4 in 10 kids? Let it sink in. Just 4 in 10 kids. ESPN is building a nationwide coalition powered by Disney called Take Back Sports, with the purpose of training more coaches, expanding access, and creating community-driven sports programming that puts kids and fun first. We're working on that story. We hope you'll join us.
Visit takebacksports.org to learn more.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can choose the best coverage option for you. Because you know you. Like, you know you can't cook. You're not one of those people who say that they can, but when people come over for dinner, they find out the hard way, you can't. You can't even microwave popcorn, and that's literally just one button. Plus, measuring and patience are huge parts of cooking, and that's just not you. Only you know you. So get coverage options within your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doop doop, and sometimes it's like grrr.
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh yeah.
And we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a local shop if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the grrr.
Not with Fix Finder.